Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on a live recruiting session for Black Ops Underground Marketing Training. And today, guys, I'm going to cover a full spectrum of topics. I'm going to really tap into the millionaire mindset. What do you need to do to be able to start a business from a complete flat start and make it go like this, okay, into vertical liftoff, okay? So what I want for you, first of all, to understand here, guys, is that, you know, the concepts that I talk about, they're not philosophy. This isn't a maybe this will work. This isn't, you know, let's give this a good college try. This is laboratory scientific research on how we create our own realities and how we manifest wealth into our life, okay? Now, what I want for you to first of all understand is that everything that's in the world, okay, from this to this to this, everything that I have in the reality, okay, doesn't matter what it is, okay, this, okay, everything, right, this, right, everything that I have holds a specific vibrational frequency, everything, okay, my watch, right, you know, my clothes, everything that I have on me, around me, holds a specific vibrational resonance, okay, in the reality. Now, the important thing for you to understand in this is that the rules of the game, okay, we're going through something called the game of life, okay, and you have to master certain things in the game to master your reality, okay. There's three things that you have to master, okay? Three things that you must master if you want to be able to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire or a billionaire, okay? If you do not master these three things, you will continue to do this. Over and over, just like a gerbil in a cage, running and running and running, running and running and running, running and running, 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 and people wonder why their life doesn't get anywhere. This is why, okay? In order to master the reality, you have to master your thoughts, okay? You have to hear what you are saying to yourself, okay? So in essence, you have to become the observer of you, right? You've got to listen to the thoughts that you think, the words that you speak, what you write into the reality, okay? So your thoughts, your words, and your emotions, okay? Now, here's what happens. If you repeat certain things over and over and over, starting in here, they start to come out here.
Hi.
Okay, so if you repeat things over and over here, okay, over and 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 over, okay, they start to manifest out here into the reality. Okay, so now you went from thinking about the reality that you either want or you don't want, okay, and it moves from here to now speaking about the reality that you either want or don't want. And then once that starts to happen, now it moves to here. Okay, now when it goes to here, you're in the critical danger zone. Okay, this is so important, guys. And I hope that you have a pen and paper handy right now, that you're taking notes. Okay, because this is real life millionaire mentoring. Okay, I've made multiple millions of dollars. I've started companies from nothing, and raised tens of millions of dollars, taken companies public, and taken a concept or an idea that was just out of thin air and turned that into millions. Okay, and the formula is very, very simple. Okay, now the simple things, they're easy to do, and they're also easy not to do. Okay, those are the two realities again. Easy to do, easy not to do. Everything you want, everything that you don't want. Okay, so it's imperative that you get this. If you cannot master your thoughts, if you cannot start to hear your self-talk, if you cannot start to hear yourself beating yourself up, okay, being disappointed in yourself, about feeling guilty for stuff that you've done, right, or not performing enough, whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter. That's the human condition, okay? But you have to be able to catch it. You have to be able to hear what you're saying and go, what am I saying? I'm speaking about everything I don't want, okay? Because it starts here, then it starts showing up here, right? Now, people don't even realize a lot of times that they're doing this. So here's an example, right? Somebody starts to get rejected, okay, as an example. So let's say that, you know, I've never been properly, Cheryl, can you mute yourself out, please? Let's say that I've never been properly taught about how to build relationships, and I'm coming into the reality pitching, right? Pitching, right? That's all I'm doing. It's pitching people, right? The first time that it happens where somebody says, no, I'm not interested, or no, that's a pyramid, or no, you know, that's a Ponzi thing. I'm not interested in anything like that. Why are you doing that? Why would you ever do something like that? This, okay? What's going to happen is that a chemical is going to be released in my body, in my stomach, okay? A chemical. Now, what happens is that over time, when this thing happens in the body, it's in the stomach, okay, there's a chemical that will get released, right, when somebody, you know, starts putting negativity into your reality, right? Poverty mindset, victimhood, whatever it is. When that comes into your world, you have to set your boundaries. Okay, this is imperative, guys. Okay, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. Okay, I learned this from Tony Robbins. Okay, Tony Robbins said to me, Darren, the hardest thing for you to come to terms with is that when the people that are in your life, in your reality, namely your family, when you discover that those people are actually the ones that are holding you back, right? They're the ones that are holding you back in their vibration. You know, you take something great to them and they suppress it or push you down, or that'll never work. Oh, come on, right? That'll never work, right? Go out and get a real job, right? If that's the reality that you're in, he said the hardest thing for you to do is to draw a line in the sand and say, I will no longer have that in my life. Okay? You have to have a separation between your bubble, right? Your bubble in your reality, right? And the other interactions that you will have in the reality. If you want to become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, or a billionaire, this is what I tell people, okay? Only surround yourself with people that do this and lift you up, okay? Those are the only type of people that you're allowed to have in your reality, okay? If somebody starts talking about how they have lack, they don't have money, they're in debt, their credit cards, pop, 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 okay? Something happens from a quantum physics standpoint called energy transference. Their energy, their reality, their negativity is going to transfer over into your body. Okay, so your body is going to start to go victimhood, poverty, debt, going down that rabbit hole. and you will actually go into a spiral based upon energy transference. Okay? A spiral based upon energy transference. So what I will share with you is this. You will become the average of the 5 people that you associate with in your life. 5. Okay? So here's an example. If all of your friends are broke, you will be the next broke person. Okay? So if all the people that you associate with are unemployed, they don't have a direction, they don't know what to do, their world is this. Okay? The more that you are in that energy, the more you will become that energy. Okay? So you need to set it as a goal that you need to be the lowest income earner within your circle of influence. The lowest. Okay? If you're the biggest income earner, you got to get rid of the friends that you have, and you got to get to more successful friends. The core influence of the people that are in your reality need to be making way more money than you. Okay? Those are the people that you want to be associating with. So here's an example. Okay, so LaToya, as an example. LaToya, let's say that your income is only $1,000 a month, as an example, okay? But your friends that you hang out with, okay, are making $1,200 a month, $1,000 a month, one's unemployed, one lives at their parents' house, and those are the people that you talk to every single day, okay? So you talk to them on phone, which is an energy portal. You talk to them on FaceTime, which is an energy portal. You talk to them on Facebook chat, which is an energy portal. You talk to them on Skype, which is an energy portal. Guess what happens? Your ability to manifest and start having $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 days will not even be possible. It won't even be possible. Now, why is that? Because all of the doors to infinite possibilities are shut in a low vibration frequency. Oh, it'll never work. Oh, I can't do this. It'll never happen for me, right? Those are all the doors completely shut. Okay, so it's impossible not only for that person to get what they want, but them being in that reality and you being in the reality with them will transfer over onto you. Does that make sense, LaToya? When I'm explaining this, does that make sense to you? Right? It's not rocket science, guys. Okay, it's not rocket science. Now, what I want to share with you is this. In the event that your parents, okay, are that negative force, you need to go work in the library. Serious. I'm not joking you. Okay? If your parents, if the people that are in your house are that suppressive, negative, it'll never work energy force, that's what's keeping you stuck. You have to get out of that energy force. You have to get to a library. You got to go to Starbucks. You've got to be in what I call the safe zone. Okay, now what is the safe zone? The safe zone is when you have no other person feeding this except for you. That's the safe zone. Okay? No other person putting anything into here except for you. Okay? Your thoughts, your words, your emotions, and what you feed into this with personal development audios, books, and training. Okay? Now, what should happen? Okay, so you first of all, you have to make a conscious effort. Just understanding what I'm talking about right here will help to raise your vibrational level where you can now have boundaries. Okay, so anytime that you're around people that start speaking about the reality that they don't want, okay, your body will produce a safety mechanism. Okay, And you got to be aware of this, guys, okay? So if you have people in your reality, doesn't matter where they are, okay, where you're interacting with people, and they start to speak about the reality they don't want, your body will create an injection of chemical release. When that happens, the red alert button should be going off, guys, like this. Red alert, red alert, You literally have to get out of there as fast as possible. And I'm not joking you, okay? Because their energy transference is now starting to download into your body. Does this make sense to you guys? Right? So in the event that your parents or your aunt or your sister or your brother or your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is that negative force, right? You need to set your boundaries and go to your safe zone. Okay, that means get out of the house. That means going to a restaurant or a coffee shop, going for a drive, and letting those chemicals that have just been injected into your body out of your body. Okay, do some meditation, go for a walk, go for a run, something. Now, in the event that you set the boundaries with your friends, with your parents, with your siblings, with your husband or wife, with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and they continue your boundaries. Okay, so they're putting their negative transference onto you. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. You're going to have to choose between success and failure. If you stay in that situation, you will fail in life. You'll fail in business. Your health will start to deteriorate. Your whole life will go like this down a rabbit hole, okay? So once you set your boundary, okay, this is why you've got 4 things, right? And you've got 3 rules that you gotta master. You gotta master your thoughts. You gotta master your words. You gotta master your emotions. That's something that you can control on your own, okay? Anytime you bring somebody into your world, whether it's a new colleague, a new business associate, you know, some new job, a new boss, that person now becomes part of your energy field, okay, and can make or break your success. Okay, there's 2 worlds that exist simultaneously, guys. Everything you want, everything that you don't want, okay? Now, here's an example. Let's say that I work for a company, okay, and every time I go into work, my boss, who's actually supposed to be, you know, talking about the vision of the company and where we're going and what's happening and this, you know, money that we're all going to make, they go, I'll tell you, Darren, you know, this economy, man, it's really tough out there. It's really, really tough out there. There's hardly any jobs. There's hardly any work at all. It's really tough to get contracts. It's really tough for, you know, us to close deals. Okay, now if I'm coming into the work and I have to actually go get the contract or go get a new advertising account or go close people, but my boss, right, the guy who's the guy, keeps on telling me that it's really going to be tough. It's not going to work, right? I'm going to keep on running into dead ends, okay? I'm actually doing myself an injustice by staying and working there. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I would never be able to get to my fullest potential if my boss is telling me the economy sucks, it's never going to work, there's hardly anybody that is going to, you know, that's going to buy advertising right now because the recession and the, you know, we're going into a really, advertisers they're holding on to their money. I'm telling you what, it's really tough out there, right? I am not going to be able to manifest. I'm better off to put in my resignation and go find another job, because the longer I stay at that job, the more that energy is going to transfer into my body, and once it gets to a certain point, it's tough to get out of it, guys. It's tough to get out of it. Okay? Now, here's what I will tell you. Once you go a certain part down the rabbit hole, you will get literally sucked down the rabbit hole. Okay? Now, Cheryl, I know that you know what I'm talking about here, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Now, here's what happens, guys. Let's say that you're a super positive person, you're an awesome manifester, you can, you know, okay? Now, here's what happened with Cheryl. Her husband was in a very low vibration, okay? Now, here's what happens. Okay, so the debt load starts to get more and more and more and more and more and more. The possibilities of getting out of that seem like a mountain. Okay, now at a certain point, it now transfers over to your health. To your health, guys. So it goes from the vibrational resonance, then it goes to not making any money, then it goes to going into debt too, right? Because human beings are mirrors, and if you hang out with those people, your energy that was here will come down to their energy here, okay? Does that make sense? Energy transference, okay? So what then happens, Cheryl? Your health starts to deteriorate, okay? Until it can get to the point, guys, until you realize that you have let your boundaries slide, okay? So you have to take ownership for it, right? You've got to set the boundary and realize that it is actually keeping you stuck. Does that make sense? Cheryl, when I'm talking about this, are you getting some aha moments right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when you look back at, say, the last 20 years of your life, is everything that I'm talking about this right now, are you just going like, holy crap, that's exactly what happened for me?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now, here's what happens, guys. In the event that you let it go too long, your life will start to seem hopeless. You will actually even contemplate committing suicide. No joke. This is real stuff, guys. So you will go into from a person that had infinite possibilities to the person that questioned their possibilities to a person that had no possibilities to a person that didn't even have any reason to live anymore. That's what can happen. It's called energy transference, okay? Now, Latoya, let me ask you this, because you're in a very difficult position because you're in an environment that has a lot of people in a small, cramped area. Is what I'm saying to you ringing true for you right now? Can you unmute for a minute? Unmute your microphone. Okay, Latoya can't unmute her microphone. Okay. So, Esteban, can you unmute for a second?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Have you noticed a difference in your life? Okay, so you were in a world, right, where, because you brought this up on your videos, right, or your session last week. You were in a position where your dad had a certain type of force on you. Am I correct?
Yes.
Energy force.
Yes, and also my workplace, like it's just as you said, like there's a lot of negativity stuff that surrounds me. A lot of I didn't have in mind like these self conversations I have in my mind. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, guys, what I want to share with you today is that your number one worst enemy in business, your number one worst enemy in business, guess who it is? You. You. Number one. You will be your number one worst enemy if you cannot get control of your self-talk. Okay? If you cannot get control of your self-talk. Okay? So as an entrepreneur, here's what I'm going to share with you. I've been an entrepreneur, guys, for a long time, okay? I've been up against the wall many times in my life, in business, okay? I've been up against the wall you know, I rolled out one company as an example, and I was $2.5 million in, okay? And I almost had to sell 1/3 of that company for $150,000. Okay, I want you guys to really understand this, okay? Because when people tell me their stories, right, it just doesn't faze me. Because what they're saying to me is they have not mastered their thoughts and they haven't taken ownership that it's them that's doing all the struggle to them, right? Because those are the two worlds. So if you're struggling, you have to own it. It's all you doing it to you. Stop it. Stop it. Right? It doesn't have to be like that. Right? So imagine this. I'm $2.5 million in, and I just about have to sell off 33 1/3% for 150,000. So what do? Now keep in mind, guys, I'm up against the timeline. Like if I don't perform, I start losing stuff that I've acquired with the $2.5 million. You know, like properties and assets and this thing. Right? So what do? The first thing that I have to do is I have to recognize that this is like a test in the game. Okay, I'm in a video game, and now I've come up against one of the next little things that I got to go through. Like, it's no different than Donkey Kong, right? It's no different than Super Mario. You got different levels that you go through that you learn new skills, right? You guys have played video games before, right? You played video games before, right, guys? Right? Okay. So what happens when you're playing Super Mario Brothers in level 1? They got some basic type of things that you learn. You jump over a little thing. You maybe learn how to duck, right? Fireball comes, you duck, right? And then you learn how to leap up and grab something, right? That's level 1. Now, when you get to the end of level 1, guess what happens? The game gets a little harder, right? Now, are there things from level 1 that show up again in level 2? Yes, there are. Right? But there are also some harder things that come, okay? So here's what happened. So the first thing this is further up levels of the game, guys, when you start to really get into manifestation and bigger deals, you know, the numbers become just numbers. They've got no emotion attached to them at all. So 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, 250 million, a billion, they're all the same, okay? It's all the same. So here's what happens. So the first thing that I have to do is I have to gain control of this. Okay, so I have to actually enter into a state of calmness within my mind. I got to get centered. I've got to get centered within my being, right? We're human beings. We can be whatever we want to be, and it's all going to depend on this, okay? What's going on in here, okay? Because the secret to manifest what you want is thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. It's going to communicate with the electrons. That's the secret. That's how it works, okay? Thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. This is why proclamations are so important, to be emotional, right? You've got to have body movement behind it. I'm driving an Aston Martin, right? It's emotional, right? That's a proclamation. You're speaking the reality into existence, okay? So here's how this works. So the first thing that I've got to do is I've got to get centered, and I've got to realize I'm in a video game. I'm in a video game, and I'm okay with it. Okay, now I have to put my mind almost into like science fiction talk, like The Matrix, right? Like I know that this is just my test, right? I know that I'm being tested to see if I understand the rules of the game, to master my thoughts, to master my words, and to master my emotions. Okay, so let's forget about this thing that exists out here that's all in my mind, right, that I'm scared of, whoa, right, the thing that I don't want to have happen, right? If I keep on thinking about it, I'm going to keep on manifesting it. So what I got to do is get centered. Step number 1. Step number 2, take responsibility. Okay? Take responsibility that it's my thoughts, my words, my emotions that's going to shift things to the reality that I want. Well, what do I want? Think about this. I obviously don't want to sell a third of my company for $150,000. I don't want that. So why would I want to keep on focusing on that? What I don't want, I don't. Instead, I go, okay, well, what do I do want? Right? At that time, I needed to raise like another, 3 or 4 million. Right? So instead of me focusing on selling 1/3 for 150, I focus on who can provide me with my next gateway. Okay? That's my first step. So now I go, okay, I'm ready for my download. I'm ready for my visions. I'm ready for my messages. I'm ready to be shown in a dream, in a vision, in a flashback, in a movie, in a video, anything, in an audio, some person that I meet. I'm ready. Bring it to me in the next thing to get to my next breakthrough. Okay, so I have to own that we as human beings have this power. We have this power. You don't have the power unless you believe that you have the power to do this. Okay, so the moment that I shift to what I want and I decide this is what I want. Okay, so a lot of times what happens is people get into a tug-of-war with themselves. So they don't even realize that they're actually stopping themselves from getting to the next version of the reality because they're in the universe doesn't know what you want. I want this. No, I don't want that. I want this. No, I don't want that. I want to get this. No, I don't want that. Right? So you're actually in a tug-of-war between you and you. Stop it. You got to feel worthy and deserving of your greatness. You got to know that abundance is your birthright, that there's not enough money in the world that can pay you for your worth. Okay, that's where it starts. Now here's what happened for me. Okay, so as I'm focusing on what I do want, I get download of a lady's name that I hadn't done business with for 6, 7 years. Okay, Terry. And I go, holy crap, Terry, I forgot about Terry, right? So I go into my email, I type in her name, up comes an old email. So I give her a call, and I say, and keep in mind, guys, there's now I'm not going to go like this. Hey Terry, what's going on? Yeah, right? I'm not going to do that. So I'm not coming into her zone in this part of the reality, right? So a lot of times, here's what I hear, okay, with people that are, let's say that somebody's in the other world and you're not in that world anymore, okay? Now, because people don't understand energy transference, somebody says, well, how's it going? Now, for me, I say it's going amazing. That has a certain energy force to it, okay? Here's what a person says that's in the other reality. So how's it going? All right. You see the difference? Okay? And people don't even realize that they're doing it. Okay? How's it going? It's going okay. Right? They already sound like a victim coming through the phone line, right? So when I reach out to Terry, I'm like, Terry, what's going on? She's like, Darren, oh my God, it's so great to hear from you. I haven't heard from you for like 6 years. How you been? I said, I've been doing amazing. You know, I rolled out this company. I mean, we entered into a brand new market. You know, I raised $2.5 million. We're literally on the verge of this deal going completely vertical. She goes, oh my God, are you for real? Do you have any information on it? I said, absolutely I do. So I sent her the information. She goes, Darren, you're not going to believe this. We got an angel investor forum coming up in like the next 2 weeks. I can probably scoot you in the back door, right? If that's something that you guys are interested in. Next thing I know, I'm into the conference, and there's one family there that has a representative. And the gateway happens. Now, the family says, you know what, we really like this deal. We've decided that we're going to do 50 grand. Okay? So it goes from 50 to 200 to 400 to 800. They end up raising $8 million bucks. Now, I was right at a crossroads, guys. It could have gone that way. Could have gone that way. I could have manifested that I don't want, or I could manifest that I do want. See the difference? Now, that's what I'm talking about, that you've got to first of all take ownership of. So, number one, who do you have in your reality, and how much money are they making? Okay, so what I want to encourage you guys to do right now as an assignment, okay, so pull out a blank piece of paper right now. We're going to do this together right now. You guys have to be truthful with me. No lying here. Okay, no pretending. Okay? So I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you're going to take a blank piece of paper right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of the people that you spend the most amount of time with on the phone, on chat, going out for lunch or dinner, okay? And, you know, it could be FaceTime, it could be Facebook, it could be Skype, it could be just talking to them on the phone. Make a list of the 5 people that you have the most amount of contact and communication with daily or weekly, okay? That's step 1. Now, beside each one of the person's names, what I want you to do is I want you to approximate. You might not get it bang on, right? And don't lie about this. So in other words, if you have people that you used to hang out with 6 months ago or a year ago, they don't count. Okay, they don't count. They don't count in this calculation that you're going to do. It is only people that are in your core influence immediately right now. Okay, like this last 2 weeks. Okay, so in the event that you're only with your kids, right, and there's 2 of them, you got to conclude them. And if they got no income, you're already down the rabbit hole a pretty far way, right? If you're in a situation, as an example, where all of your personal friends that you have, right, are either broke, unemployed, or they have very low income jobs. Okay, so what's a low income job? They do like a basic secretarial job, or they do a you know, something like, I don't know, they work in a retail store, right? Or they work at a food restaurant, right? Those are all very low. They're like under $25,000 a year in most cases. Not all the time, but most of the time. Okay, so the name, the amount of income. The name, the amount of income. And if it's 0, you're going to have to put 0. Okay, so name, if it's 0, put 0 in a line through. Next name, 20 grand. Next name, 23,000. Next name, 40,000. Next name, whatever. If 2 or 3 of them are zeros, then put 2 or 3 of them as zeros. Okay? And I'm going to show you something that'll blow your mind. Okay. So let's start here one at a time here. Okay, Cheryl, you have them listed? Unmute.
Yes.
Okay. So, and add the total up. So, 20,000 plus 40,000 plus 30,000 plus 60,000. Give me the total. Tell me what the total is.
The total of, well, one of them's retired. I don't know what that income is, so.
Well, it would be 0.
Okay, 0. 144,000?
Okay. That's the full total?
Yep.
Okay, so 144 divided by 5 equals 28.8. Okay? So what I'm going to share with you, now it's typically, guys, I want to explain this how this works. So Cheryl's number is $28,800. Okay? That is actually her ceiling of her income, but it's plus or minus 10,000. Okay? So she could go 28.8 up to 38.8 and down to 18.8. Okay? Now here's the interesting thing. Here's what I'm going to share with you, Cheryl. That is an extremely low vibrational demographic right there that you've just shown yourself. Okay? 28.8 down to 18.8. That's an income that students make, like $18,000 a year, right? Working part-time jobs as waiters or waitresses. Okay? So chances are that if I pulled out your T4s, or whatever you guys call them in the US, I would see a very low income level, right? And I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, you tell me that I'm wrong. But I don't believe that I am. Am I accurate?
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's go to the next person here. Who do we got here? Ryan. Ryan, if you can unmute. Okay, let's go over to...
Hey, Darren, I'm here. Sorry, I was muted.
Okay. So, Ryan, what's your number, the 5? Add it up.
Honestly, right now, I don't, for the last about year, I haven't really associated with any friends. Occasionally, I'll, maybe once a month, I'll go hang out with a friend. I'd say his income is probably about 60,000.
Okay.
I've got a girlfriend. Right now, she's between jobs, so 0 for her.
Okay.
So those are about the only 2 people that I even hang out with anymore because I've just been so busy just programming and stuff.
Okay. So we've got a 60, and is there anybody else in your circumference that you talk to on a regular basis?
Well, like on Facebook, I guess, all you guys, all the marketers and stuff. So I really have no idea what their income is. I'm thinking a lot of them are probably struggling, but I don't know, to be honest.
Here's my, and this may not even be the case, right? But in what I'm projecting, okay, so 60 can go up to okay, hold on a second. 60 divided by 5. There's probably 1 or 2 more people that you're just not really thinking about that you probably communicate with every week. But, I just want to give you an idea. 60 divided by 5, you're down to 12,000 a year, $1,000 a month, okay? So what I want to share with you is that if you want to bring up your income, right, you should probably be spending more time with guys like me, right? Because that's going to raise up your income producing abilities, right?
That's the idea. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. So, but you can see what I'm talking about, right? So in the event that your last year's income was going down, right, then this is a clear indicator why. So you've got to start to associate with people that are at a higher income level. Jason, how about yourself?
Well, I mostly talk to you. I talk to my boss, who's also a millionaire, my wife, and my son. Those are really the only people I actually come in contact with on a daily basis. And my coworker, who I only talk to him on the phone for about 15 minutes out of the day.
Okay.
So you and my coworker probably I have the most conversations with. I mean, my boss.
Okay. So what I want for you guys to understand here is this, okay? Jason's been working with me for maybe about a month, a little less than a month, okay? The moment that he started to work with me, he closed his biggest transaction that he's ever closed online. Am I correct? That's what you told me, right? Okay. Closed his biggest transaction that he's ever closed, and in like 24 to 48 hours from last Saturday, he recruited 4 people. 4, right? Now, I think total, you might have already recruited even like 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
6 or 7 people. Okay. So let me ask you this. At that income level, okay, in a compressed period of time like that, have you ever had any type of success like that ever before?
Not at that fast of a pace. It's always been, you know, let out throughout the month, but this was probably the fastest I've ever, you know, had a breakthrough like that, and probably the most amount of money at one time. So yes, I would say definitely.
Okay. So, Gil, what's your total number? It's on mute there. Gil? We can't hear you, bro. You unmute at the top. We'll come back to you. At the very top, there's a little microphone.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. So, Gil, what's your total number? Your number the 5.
My total number, I talk a lot with my girlfriend. She's around 20, 22. My mom, she's retired, so she's around 1,200. So like 20, 22, 20, 22, 2,300 total.
Okay. Is that 23?
And with Jason, I've been talking the last week. I've been communicating with him a lot.
Okay. So you're in a similar situation than Ryan is. So what I'm gonna share with you, you guys need to make this a goal. Okay, make this a goal that you want to be the lowest income earner with your 5. Okay, the lowest. Okay, so you want, if you're making say 50,000, you want to be hanging out with people as high up the ladder as you can get. 100, 150, 200, 250, 500, right? And in order to do that, you're going to have to focus on personal development. Okay, because here's what I can tell you that happens. As people's energy goes up with their ability to manifest and make more money, it means they've done more personal development. And a person that's done a lot of personal development will not be able to relate mentally with a person that hasn't. Okay, so what'll start happening in that friendship or in their relationship is this, right? The 2 people will not be even speaking the same language. There'll be a complete disconnect. One person will have done a huge amount of personal development that's made a lot of money, and another person will have done hardly any personal development that's made not a lot of money, and then this starts happening. So it's not that that those people you know, don't really want to hang out with you, right? It's that they don't feel that you're on the same intellect level that they are. Bottom line. They don't feel that you even understand what they're talking about when they're talking about stuff, right? So this is what ends up happening. Womp, right? So you get this disconnect with friendships, right? And this gap is why the person can't hang out with you, right? You know, this guy's making $500,000 a year, right? And you're making 75 grand, but you've done no personal development, right? And you're at the top of your ceiling, right? And he's already at kind of the bottom of his ceiling, going up to $1 million. Your vibration can't hold on to his vibration, and his vibration cannot get pulled down to your vibration because it's already past all that stuff. Does this make sense to you guys? Right? Okay, Esteban.
Sure.
Okay. What's your total?
Well, I got $1,000. That's the exact amount I got paid for work.
Okay, so you're telling me you don't have any friends at all?
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to hang out with the guys in the gym, but I got like injuries, so I only talk to my trainer. He earns like 500, and the other persons I talk the most are my dad. He earns like 3,000. My mom
Per month, right?
per month, yeah. My
Okay.
mom like 2,000,
Okay.
and
So what's the total? So you got
total
3,000, 2,000, 1,500. What's the total?
5,900.
5,900. Okay. So here's what you do. You take 5,900 times 12. Okay, so that's 70,800. I'm going to divide that by 5 people. And hold on a sec. Okay, hold on a sec. No, I've added it up wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it from a monthly level. So I got 5,900 divided by 5 people. I've got 1,180 per month. Okay. Now, what was the number that you gave me that you just made? $1,000.
Yep.
Okay, guys, you see how this works? This isn't fake stuff, guys. I'm telling you, this is real. That right there is quantum physics. It's called energy transference. And once you get this, it will totally open up every area of your life. Okay, let's go over to Dan.
Hey, Darren.
Okay,
So my
Dan,
top 3 was my wife and my 2 kids. So my wife's only working part-time, about 25,000 a year. My 4th guy is a guy I know through the Remarkable Man Project.
okay, let's take out your 2 kids.
Sorry?
Let's take out your 2 kids because I only want to show you that if those are the only people that you hang out with, you'll be pulling down your income level, especially if they have
Yeah. Okay.
right? So let's take them out for a sec. So you've got your wife that's at how much?
About 25,000 a year.
25,000. You got the Remarkable Man Project, and that's how much?
That guy's working part-time as well, probably only bringing in about 10,000 a year at the moment.
10,000 a year. Okay, so you've got 2 people. You're at 35,000. Who else?
Yeah. Well, lately it's been you, so I have no idea what that number is.
Oh.
And then 2 other people. One's making about 70,000 a year, and another probably about 150,000 a year. So what are we at? 95, 245, 255, and then wherever you fall into that.
So what number are you at? 255?
255 for 4 people.
255. I think last year I did like, I don't know, 190 or something like that in MLM. The rest of my stuff are investments that don't pay income on that. So you're at 345. Okay, so.
Oh, sorry, 445.
445. Okay, so we got 445 divided by 5 is 89,000. Okay, so right now your income ceiling for you, based upon your circumference, it's 89 plus or minus 10 grand. So between 79 and 99,000 right now is your cap. Okay. Okay. Let's go to is it DeAndre? Are you there? Unmute. Amo?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. So what's your number?
I do have divide by 5 is 20. So the maximum person who is my dad makes, I would say, 85 to 100 grand a year. My mom, who makes like 60,000 a year. My 2 best friends who make less than 1,000 a year, and my brothers who make my 2 best friends who make less than 1,000 a month, and my brothers who make less than 1,000 a month. So, Can't hear you.
You're calculating parts and yearly parts. So you've got to blend them. So 1,000 a month is 5 grand a year.
Oh, okay. So most people in my life are making less than 100 grand a year. Well, everybody in my life is making less than 100 grand a year.
What I want for you to do is to take the numbers like I instructed, yearly amount, divide by 5, plus or minus 10 grand.
I got 20.
Okay, Adelia.
Hi.
Okay, so what is your total number?
Well, I talked to my sister Liz. I think she makes maybe, I would say probably about 100 US, 100,000 US a month. And you, I talked to a lot. And last week I talked to my friend Julia. She's an engineer, so she probably makes probably about 90,000 a year. And my friend Tammy, but I don't really talk to her very much, so I don't consider. And my friend Debbie, she's laid off, so she's not making anything right now.
Okay, so we got 290 plus 0 plus the other one was at 80.
90.
1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 90.
So Liz is probably about 100.
I already got Liz on there. I mean, what? One more.
My friend Julia about 90.
I already got her.
And my friend Debbie, she doesn't make much. She's on EI. She makes $900 every month on EI.
Okay, so basically you're right now. I'm just sharing this with you right now, where your vibrational number is. Your number is 76. Okay, so 76 plus 10 is 86. 76 minus 10 is 66. So right now, with your circle of influence, your cap, right, is at about $86,000 a year. Right now is where you're capped at.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay. So what I want to do here, guys, right now is I want to, first of all, share with you something about this. We are in an industry of a leadership business model. Okay, a leadership business model, not a sales pitch business model. It's not check out my products. Have I got a deal for you? Look at what our products do. That's not this business model. And if you do that, it will be very painful. You will get rejected massively, and everybody will stop answering their phone. Literally. Okay? And if you do that to your friends and family, you literally will be alone. You'll be so alone that you'll just not even know what hit you, because nobody will even want to. You'll want to go to a movie on Friday night, and they'll be thinking that you're calling to pitch them on your business again. They won't even answer their phone, right? And that sucks. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, we are in a business model of people connecting and problem solving. That's the business model that we are in. Connecting, so networkers are good people connectors. They're good go-to people. They know everybody, right? So somebody's got a leaky roof. I know a contractor guy, right? Somebody's got a problem with their plumbing. I know a plumber, right? Somebody has a problem where they've got engine troubles. I know a top mechanic, right? So good networkers are very good people connectors. So if you ask a good networker, oh man, can you think of anybody off the top of your head that does whatever? They go, oh yeah, hold on a sec. Hand you the phone. That's a good networker. Okay, so a networker offers value to other people's lives. Okay, a networker offers value to other people's lives. If they can't provide the value, they know somebody that can. Okay? If they can't provide the value, they know somebody that can. Okay? So what I want for you guys to imagine is this. Using the strategies that I teach myself, I have personally recruited over 1,000 people, okay, myself. The same strategies that I use to teach you how to become a top recruiter, I have raised tens of millions of dollars for my own ventures, my own companies, my own public deals, my own venture capital raises, my own products, whatever it is, okay? Tens of millions, not just like a couple million, okay? Tens of millions. Plus, I've personally made millions, using the exact same strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, so as much as almost $4 million in a single year. So I'm not talking about this stuff like, hey guys, let's give this a good college try, right? That's what I'm not talking about here. This is the real deal, okay? If you want to make big money, and I'm going to turn back the clock a little bit, and I'm going to share with you how I started. Okay, now I came from features and benefits. I came from pitching and closing. And guys, I was really good at that model. Pitch people, pitch people, pitch people, meet them to pitch them. Okay? But here's what I will share with you. Nobody else could do what I did. Right? I could do it, but nobody else could do it. Right? They didn't understand psychology. They didn't understand the things that I would go through in order to close deals. Okay, now I'm talking about closing accounts. Like when I would go into a company to market, to sell them a branding package or an advertising campaign where I'm going to redesign their whole image, create a new logo, letterhead, stationery, business cards, brochures, marketing material, trade show material. I'm going to come up with their campaign. I'm going to write all their copy, whatever. Okay. Now, there was a specific strategy that I used. Right? I didn't even realize that I was doing it, but I just did it naturally. So I would sit down with the customer, and they would say, so Darren, what do you got? They're waiting for me to pitch them. I didn't do that. Okay, that's what most salespeople do. They go, well, here's what we got. We got this, this package and this package and this package and this package and this package. Which package do you want? Okay, that's what most people do. And most people that come from car dealerships, real estate, mortgage brokers, insurance agents, that's their reality. You want this insurance package? You want this insurance package? You want this life insurance, or this life insurance? You want the BMW that's black, the four-door with the 325 horsepower, or do you want this, the two-door sport model with the turbocharged, blah, 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 blah. Here's the price for that, here's the price for that. Which one do you want? Okay, that's their world. That model does not work in our model. Okay, so if you try to do this, it will be painful for you, extremely painful for you. Okay. So here's what I did when I went to close advertising deals. I would say this to the person because they want me to pitch them because that's the world that they're in. I would say, you know what, Tom? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if there's a fit here. I mean, I don't even know if you'd be qualified to be one of my clients. And they go, what do you mean? And I'd say, why don't we do this? I'm going to ask you some questions about your business, about where you're at, right? I want to see your current campaigns. I want to see the success that you've had with your sales figures over the last 5 years. And then I want to get an idea, where do you want to go? What's your vision? What do you really want? and what sort of budgets are you dealing with, so that we can sort of compare notes here, right? Because quite honestly, I don't even know if you can afford me, right? Now I would take notes. Is it okay if I take some notes? Absolutely, Darren. Okay, so now I'm going to ask them about their business. Okay, so how long has your company been in business, right? You know, what are some of the marketing strategies that you're currently doing? I would make a list of them all, right? Where are you currently spending your money? Bum, 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 right? This amount for trade shows, this amount for brochures, this amount for, you know, the sales reps on the road, this amount for this, right? Well, give me an idea. How effective do you feel your campaign's been for you so far, right? More notes, more data, more notes. Data, guys, data, right? That's what allows you to close a deal, is the data, the questions that you have asked the person, right? So I collected all of that data, right, and got an idea of where that company wanted to go. What was their vision, right? What kind of sales did they want? How would we know if the new campaign would be a success, right? So if they were doing $1 million, right, and they had a budget of $100,000, how would we know if that $100,000 campaign was effective for them? What would they consider was a good campaign, right? Makes sense, right? Because then I got some goalposts I'm dealing with, right? So then what I'd say is this. Guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you some of my current customers, some of my accounts that I've currently done, so you can get an idea of some of the success stories that I already have. Isn't that kind of like third-party validation from your team? Think about it. So I'm getting the data of where are they. Now, what do I say when I connect with a person? You know, let's say that somebody's bought something for me and I want to upgrade them. What do I say to them? Well, Tom, give me an idea. Tell me, where are you currently at right now? What's happening in your world? Are you married? Do you have children? Do you have a job? Do you work part-time, full-time? Where are you at? Tell me about yourself. And I listen. Then I'm going to say, talk to me about your vision. What do you really want? Okay, now I'm going to get the person emotionally connected to their future. Okay, now we're talking about that future, the lifestyle. Well, give me an idea. I mean, how much money do you need to be able to live this? Now you have to give me a number. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 5,000. I can tell a lot about you by the number that you give me. I can tell where you're at on the scale of success already by the number that you give me. Okay? So give me an idea. So, you know, you're talking about wanting to make $10,000 a month. Am I right? Okay, I'm going to start getting you to say yes to me. Okay? You don't even know what's going on. Okay? So what you're telling me then is that you want to make $10,000 a month. Am I right? Yes. So tell me what you want the $10,000 a month for, so that we know what we're going after. Now you start to spend the money that you don't have yet. Okay? And guess what I just got on you? Leverage. Okay? I got leverage now. Okay? Now here's all I want to know. On a scale from 1 to 10, Tom, 10 being the most serious, how serious would you say that you are about Now, if you don't give me a 10 or higher, I'm going to tell you that you don't qualify to work with me. But when you are a 10 or higher, I'm happy to rediscuss your vision and your goals. You're going to go, what are you talking about? Say, on a scale from 1 to 10, I mean, how serious are you about ... Darren, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you. I figure I'm about a 9. Man, that's really unfortunate. What do you mean? Well, unfortunately, you wouldn't qualify to work with me. Well, why not? Because 10% of your brain has already quit. In 2 weeks, it's going to be 20%. In 4 weeks, it's going to be 40%. By the second month, you're already going to be out. And my time is way too valuable to invest into somebody that's going to quit that fast. Right? So now they got to backpedal and sell me on why they're a 10. You see how that works, guys? It's all psychology, right? So here, back to the advertising situation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my portfolio page by page, and I'm going to take you through this, an emotional roller coaster. As you're looking at visuals, you're hearing my voice, and I'm going to make you feel good because I'm going to change your state. This is a science, guys, okay? This is a science. This is how you can sell whatever you want, okay? Here's what I will share with you about human beings, okay? There's 3 major types of personalities, okay? The highest resonance, move really fast and talk really fast. A lot of people from New York, they talk really fast and move their hands and stuff, right? Those are visual people, okay? It has to, they got to get it has to look right. They got, you know what, I totally see this, man. I totally see this, man. I totally see this, okay? That's a visual person. You have to hear what that person is saying, because if you go in sync with them, your sales will go like this. Okay, so if they say that they got to get a clear picture, they go, man, I don't really see this, man. I don't really see this, right? So I'm going to say to you, let me paint the picture for you so that you can see it better. I'm speaking to the listening. You hear what I just said, guys? Okay. Now, if that person is an auditory person, here's what they will say. First of all, they're a little bit more relaxed. They don't move their hands as much. They talk slower. Sound right. You know what, Darren? This sounds really good. I really like the way this sounds. Right? That's an auditory person. Somebody who's kinesthetic, they got to get a good, you know what, they talk really slow, right? They're like Southerners and stuff. You know what, Darren? I'm telling you what, I'm getting a really good feeling for this deal. This feels really good. Okay, that is somebody that is kinesthetic. It has to feel right. Okay? Now, if you want to master sales and master relationships and master connections on interviews to get yourself a job or to get a new contract or to close a new deal, doesn't matter what industry you're in, get a new real estate listing, or get referrals from your mortgage broker, your insurance customers, right? Doesn't matter what industry. Get referrals from people that just bought a car from you, okay? Here's what you've got to be able to do. You need to become a chameleon. Now, what is a chameleon? A chameleon is a mirror of the other person. A mirror, okay? It's called mirroring and modeling. Okay, Tony Robbins taught me this, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. There is a phenomenal thing that happens when 2 people synchronize. Okay, so when 2 people synchronize as mirrors, okay, something happens between the vibrational resonance and they go lock. Okay, now when that lock takes place, that person will all of a sudden feel like they've known you forever. Seriously, guys. When you get into, okay, that person will feel like they have known you for a whole lifetime. Guess what happens? They pull out their checkbook. That's what happens. Now, if you understand how this works, now I will share this with you guys, okay? Once you understand this technology, I call it technology because it really is. It's like unlocking the matrix, okay? This knowledge can be used for very good things, and it can be also used for very bad things. Okay? I'm being totally straight up here, okay? By me sharing it with you guys, you have to take responsibility, okay? Seriously. There are people out there that take this information and they use it to manipulate people or to, you know, get them to, like, really, almost like they're taking money from those people, right? You know, so you've got to have a conscience, right? I mean, my goal is to be able to cut $1 million checks to charities, right? That's my goal. I want to be able to, you know, go into areas where there's homeless people and, you know, be able to put them up in shelters and do things that change people's lives, right? And you can't do that as a broke person. Remember this. You cannot do that as a broke person. You can't do laboratory research and have a breakthrough on diseases without financing, without funding, right, for research and development. You can't, it's not possible. People don't work for free, right? So if you want to pay for staff to do something, people don't build houses for free, right? People don't give you free supplies. You have to, you know, be in a residence where you can get the money to do those good things for the world, right? And I'm being completely honest here and open and vulnerable here today with you guys, okay? $1 million isn't squat. Serious. $1 million is nothing. The majority of properties in Vancouver here, if you're only paying $1 million for a property, you got like a shack. Seriously, like a teardown, right? Downtown Vancouver. Teardown. You're going to rip the thing down and then build something proper, right? So you've got to start to raise your vibrational resonance, and I will share with you this. Broke people will not make you rich. Listen to my words again, guys. Broke people will not make you rich. Bottom line. Stop trying to save people that don't want to save themselves. Save yourself. Save your family. And the way that you will do that by, number one, starting to associate with people that have way more money than you. Step one, right? Cut off all negativity from your reality. Completely. Completely, guys. Okay? That means television, newspapers, magazines, and radio. Okay? Anything that has the news on it, cut it out of your life. Seriously. You want to become a millionaire? That's where it starts. Cut off the TV news. No more 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock news. It's out of your reality. Stop reading the newspaper. Okay? No joke. Stop reading the newspaper. And stop reading magazines that talk about killing, you know, volcanoes, earthquakes, tragedy, war. Take that out of your reality, okay? And in the event that you have family members that put a negative force onto you, step one, you tell them what your boundaries are. Okay, so here's an example. So let's say that I have a brother. I don't have a brother, but let's say that I did. Okay, and every time we come in contact with one another, my brother does this to me. Okay, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a meeting. Okay, and I'm going to say, Bob, first of all, I want you to know that I love you and I care about you. Okay, so I'm not saying this to you in any way to hurt you in any way. I want you to know that ahead of time. Okay? But what I'm going to share with you is that I'm taking my life and my reality to a higher level. And in order for me to get there, I need to surround myself with positive energy, a positive environment, and a infinite thinking of what's going to happen that's going to work. Because now I went through Millionaire Mentoring and I understand about quantum physics and creating my own reality. And I'm telling you that I don't want to have to do this. Okay? I don't want to have to do this. But in the event that every time we get together, that your energy is about everything that is going bad, everything that's negative, and you push that onto me, I'm cutting off the contact. Okay? I'm cutting off the contact. Now, it's totally up to you. Okay? And just talk calmly. This is completely and totally in your court. Okay? Because I want for you to know that I'm taking my life to another level. I really want you to come with me because you're my brother and I want you to be part of my life. But I have these boundaries. And I don't want you to keep on walking over my boundaries. Because if you do, you will no longer be allowed in my reality. Pretty simple. You can say it very calmly. But that is called setting your boundaries. And until you do that, you will be under attack. This is serious stuff, guys. Okay? This includes your parents. This includes your brothers and sisters. And this includes your spouse, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Okay? Now, in the event that you go, warning, 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 they're gone. And you have to get to that point if you want to protect your dream. It's really important, guys. Now, the hardest ones to do are family members, but they must be done. If you want to get to $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, $50 million, $100 million, maybe that's not for you. I don't know. You know, everybody has their number. I can tell you this, $1 million just in real estate doesn't even go very far. Right? So if you don't raise your frequency and raise your vibration, you're not going to get more money. And it starts with your boundaries, your safe zone. Right? If every time you talk to your brother or your sister, you have knots in your stomach and those chemicals are being released, you are actually suppressing your success. And you're doing it to yourself because you're allowing yourself to be in that energy force. It's literally self-inflicting. It's self-sabotage. Does this make sense to you guys, what I'm saying here? Does it? Okay. So what I'm going to share with you guys, and then I'm going to go live on my screen, is that when I got into this industry, my millionaire mentor said to me this, very profound, okay? Because remember I told you I came from features and benefits, right? I morphed that when I was doing advertising contracts because I got really good at this one strategy. It was almost like the takeaway, right? But what I didn't even realize that I was doing was that I was qualifying my customers to see if there was a synergy between me as a service provider and them as the person that was going to pay me, right? I wanted to see if there was a synergy between the two of us. Because if there wasn't, I could say, you know what, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's a fit. It was great. Thanks for your time. And I would get up and I would walk away, right? Real simple. And I'm not emotionally attached to it either way, guys, okay? That's one thing that you'll find about people that are highly successful. If we're talking about something and I say, you know, if I was to tell you this, right, what would you say? And you'd say, I would say I'm not interested. And I go, cool. What do you got planned for the weekend? It's very casual. I don't care. Because if there's no fit, there's no synergy, I'm not going to put you in a headlock and try and convince you why you need to pull out your credit card right now and buy what I have. Okay? Because you're just going to get buyer's remorse after and cancel. Right? A deal is not a deal until both parties feel that they've gotten benefit. Remember this. Okay? A transaction is never a good transaction if both parties don't feel that they've gotten value from the transaction. Okay? So if I'm hard selling you, but you just succumb because you got tired of me, right? So finally pull out your credit card. Within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get buyer's remorse. You're not going to want to call me because of that energy force, right? And you're just going to call the company and charge back your purchase, especially if it's a higher ticket item, right? So what I'm going to share with you on this is that the conversations that you have with people, and this is where people that come from features and benefits don't get this, right? People that typically close deals out in their, you know, the corporate world, they don't get this model, okay? Here's the difference. So the corporate person says, I'll tell you, you should do this. You should do this. I'm telling you, you'd be really good at this. You should do this. You should join. You should get involved. I'm telling you, you'd be amazing at this. Okay? That's what the corporate person does. And the prospect goes, I'm not interested. Thanks, but I'm not interested. Right? What the networker does is, this is like the world of being a corporate recruiter. Okay, so I want you to think of yourself is that you're making $250,000 a year, and your goal is to just find out whether or not people are happy doing what they currently do. You may not even have a deal for them as a corporate recruiter. Do you understand this, guys? So if I'm a corporate recruiter and I make $250,000 a year or $500,000 a year, I need to go find talent first. And then after I have talent, I need to now go fill positions and line a position up with the talent. That's a corporate recruiter, right? So a corporate recruiter meets with people that they feel have talent or skill. They get rapport with them. Then they go find a deal that they think would be a fit for that person, and they call them and they say, I got an interview for you. I got a deal for you, right? I think it would be a good fit. They put this person together with this company, boom, they make a commission. That's a corporate recruiter. Now, a lot of times when a corporate recruiter reaches out to people that's already working at a job, they don't necessarily have anything for them. So all they want to find out is, what's happening in your life? Are you liking what you're doing over there? Are they paying you what you're worth? If I had something that could pay you more, are you open to a change? That's all. So when they make those contacts, that's all they want to find out. They don't say, Hey, I got this thing. You should do it. It's a lot better. I'll tell you. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to get involved. I'm telling you, you got to get involved. You'd be great at it. They don't do that. They establish a connection. They establish a relationship, and they're normally good at getting people to laugh. They're normally good at getting people to laugh. Okay? If you can learn how to change another person's state and get them to laugh, guess what happens? They like you. Oh, really? Yes. If you can reach out to a person, come in at a high energy, find out what's going on in their life, make them smile, change their state, get them to laugh, when you leave, they still feel good. They still feel good. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, now here's where the neuro association comes in. Okay? You hear a person's voice and you laugh. You see a person's name and you laugh. You see their name again, you laugh. You hear their voice again, you laugh. Guess what happens when you see their name come up on your phone? Instant. It's neuro-associative conditioning, neuro-linguistic programming. It's Pavlov and the bell. So Pavlov wanted to conduct an experiment. So every time he put out food for the dog, he would ring a little bell, right? So the dog would start to associate the sound of the bell with the food. His saliva glands would start to activate. Then Pavlov just rung the bell. No food. Saliva glands still activated because the nerves, the neurological system, had already anchored the bell with the food, right? So once you can get good at changing people's state, right? Guess what magically happens when they see your phone number? They like you. They're smiling, right? So a couple things. Now, back to the story of a person who is a corporate recruiter. So if I to just reach out to a person, all I want to do is find out what's going on in their life. That's it. That's it. Okay, I want to find out what's happening in their life, right? Find out what's going on in their reality right now, right? And if I can change that person's state, I call it truth serum. So once I change your state, you will start to tell me the truth about your life. Laugh, you will tell me your marriage is on the rocks, you're in credit card debt, you know, you just got to pocket. You will tell me about your credit, you know, your home in foreclosure, your car being repoed, that you hate your boss, that somebody pissed you off at work. You will tell me everything. And then after you tell me, you'll say, oh my God, Darren, I can't believe I just told you all that. I never told that to anybody before. Okay, if you start hearing that, then you've applied what I'm telling you here. People start saying that to you, you know that you're on the right track. Okay? Now, you don't have to be Oprah Winfrey. You don't have to talk to somebody for 4 hours. I talk to strangers sometimes for 2 or 3 minutes. Minutes! And they tell me everything. That was weird. Did you guys just see that? Did you guys see that? Okay. That's common, okay? In my reality, that's very common, okay? So what I want to share with you is that a portal, an energy portal, can only contain so much energy, and then it goes right? Same thing happens on these, right? Same thing happens on conference calls or, you know, broadcasts. This line can only take so much energy force and then it pops. And it'll be interesting to see on the analytics on YouTube if there was a spike or something in that. Anyway, it's good to have witnesses that watch stuff like that because you guys can really understand that what I'm telling you is really real here. Okay. So what I want to do with prospects is, number one, I just want to find out how your day's going. That's it. I'm not trying to pitch you on anything. I'm not trying to sell you on my deal. I'm not trying to convince you that you should buy whatever I have. I want to find out about you. Now, the only way that you're going to tell me about you, the truth, is if I share my life with you. So if I share a picture with me and my son, or a picture of me hanging out with a sea turtle in Maui, or a picture with my parents on a golf course, guess what magically happens? You start to open up because I've created a portal opening in the Facebook chat. Okay, these portal concepts, guys, I'm telling you, this isn't any BS. This is real stuff, okay? So if I send you a picture, you can see through that, right? It went from a flat screen into a gateway. The moment that I send a picture that has 3 dimensions in it. So that white part of the Facebook thing is white, and I just went, and I opened up a gateway in that chat. Right? Now you're into my world. You're being pulled into my reality. Now I've opened up the ability to connect with you. Right? It's like energy transference can now take place. Does this make sense, guys? Right? So in other words, there was a wall there, right? There was a wall. It was a white wall. It was a white painted concrete wall. And I said, hey, how's it going? You go, pretty good. How about yourself? And I go, blop. I just opened up a gateway. And I am now going to transfer the energy. Now, what's my goal? Okay, what's my goal? My goal is to get you to an LOL. Okay, my goal, my number one goal, is to get you to an LOL. Okay? Change your state. Now, if you're typing in LOL, you're probably like this. I just changed your state. See how that works, guys? You were reading something that I wrote, and you went, LOL. I just changed your state. I'm in. I just accessed the vault. Okay? Okay, so I want to reach out, say a quick hello. Pretty good, Darren. How about yourself? I'm going to go amazingly well. Now I'm bringing you into my world. I don't go, yeah, pretty good too. Okay? The person that asks the questions controls the conversation. Remember this, guys. Write this down. The person that asks the questions controls the conversation. If you don't ask a question, you lost control. Darren, they keep on pitching me. How can they pitch you when you're the one asking the questions? It's not even possible. It's not possible. It's not possible to get pitched on anything when you have control. You're the one that's steering the ship. It is impossible to get rejected when you steer the ship. You're at the rudder of the conversation. Okay. Hey, Darren, how's it go? Or hey, Tom, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Pretty good, Darren. How about yourself? Oh, it's going amazingly well. I just had my son up here for 6 weeks during the summertime. What a great time we had together. Sure gave us the time to connect as father and son. Picture of my son saying, I just spent 6 weeks with my dad, and now I feel like a superhero. And then I'm going to go LOL. Now, if I get an LOL back, I'm in. I got a connection. I connected them to my real world. I opened up a portal. I made them laugh. Guys, you realize I'm like 90% of the way there at that point in time right there. 90% in less than a minute. How's it going? Pretty good. Naked soul, right? Naked soul, that's my real world. Okay, after I do naked soul, what do I want? An LOL. If I get an LOL, I'm in. Okay, now here's what I want to know. Okay, here's what I want to know. Now, I might take a little bit of time, but not a heck of a lot, guys. You will see it in my chats. 6 minutes, okay? Now it's between 6 and 20. It used to be 6 to 45. The only way that it will go on for 45 is if they're not paying attention. If they're not paying attention on the chat. And they're doing housework, or they're cleaning, and then they come back, and then they go back, do some housework, cleaning, and they come back, right? Then it will be a little bit longer. But 6 to 20 minutes is really all I need, okay? Now, here's what I want to know. I want to know what it is that you do, okay? How long have you been doing it? And is it your passion? It's either your passion or it's not your passion. Now, if somebody, here's an example. So what exactly do you do? I drive a cab. Oh, wow, how long have you been doing that? About 10 years, right? Is it your passion? Well, it's a job. It's not your passion. If you say that to me, well, it's a job, I'm going to say, well, what's your passion? I mean, what do you really want to do? Now, the moment that I get you emotionally connected to your dream, listen to what I'm saying, guys. This all happens within minutes. Well, what's your passion? Well, actually, Darren, I really love windsurfing. Well, why aren't you windsurfing 5 days a week? Well, I can't afford it. How much money do you need to leave taxi driving to be windsurfing 5 days a week? The moment that you give me a number, I got ya. You give me a number now, I got ya. Because now I'm closing in, I'm closing the parameters of the goalposts in like this. Okay, because all I want is a decision. Okay, so here's an example. So we'll give me an idea. I mean, how much money do you need per month to be able to leave driving a cab and be windsurfing 5 days a week? I mean, you know what, Darren? I really only need about $5,000 a month. I mean, give me an idea. What do you want the $5,000 a month for? Well, you know, I mean, to pay my mortgage and pay my car and pay my expenses and, you know, pay for food and stuff. Now, I might even say to that person, well, is that going to be enough for you? Well, actually, you know, maybe $8,000 a month. Okay. If I was to tell you, okay, if I was to tell you, now, I typically will get their little bit of leverage here because I want to find out how serious they are. So I'm going to say, well, let me ask you this. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most serious, how serious would you say that you are about being able to windsurf 5 days a week, make $8,000 a month, and walk away from taxi driving and have that life of freedom? And how serious are you about that? Oh, I'm a 10. Really, a 10? Tell me why. Now they're selling me. See how that works? So it went from me collecting data to them selling me on their dream, and now I'm going for the close. If I was to tell you that I have students that work with me that make as much as $8,300 their very first month, and as much as $11,500 by month 2. And it was only $184.95 to get started in Millionaire Mentoring. What would you say? Now, when I say that, I have surrendered it, because I don't care what he says at that point in time. If he says, yes, he wants to move forward, his life is going to change forever. If he says, no, he's not interested, I say, cool. What do you got planned for the weekend? It instantly takes the energy off of what I said. He can't think about what I just said and what he has planned for the weekend. I clear the slate, I wrap up the call, and I move on. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to keep on following me. Now, when I start going, now, what do you guys think happened when I said I made $175 on day 1? By 5 days in, I was already over 1,000, right? Now I'm 32 days in, and I'm at 11,000, like, I don't know, $11,375, and we're just starting, right? What do you think the people are thinking that saw me put out my first post that said I made $175? And we're only a month in, and I made over 11 grand. What do you think those people are thinking now? Holy cow, the train's leaving the station. What's Darren up to? How did he go? Now, guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to put a webinar together, and I'm going to show people how I went from nothing to 11,000 in 32 days with $184.95. And I'm going to put together a whole value-based webinar that talks about these principles, right? Quantum physics, the 2 realities that exist simultaneously, speaking your reality into existence, what if, right? Because most people say, oh, what if it doesn't work? Oh, what if I go bankrupt? Right? That's what most people do, right? But I say, what if everybody that I talk to wanted to join my business? What if my phone was ringing off the hook with incoming calls? What if leaders were contacting me from all 4 corners of the world? What if the moment that a person got in at $184.95 and they saw the bigger picture, they all started to upgrade to go all in? And I started popping these 3,500, 3,500, 3,500, 3,500 between now and the 24th. Okay? Because if you guys don't know this, I'm going to share this with you. From now until the 24th at midnight, we have an all-in special, okay, for our team. Okay, now here's how this works. After the $184.95, there's $250, right? There's $1,000, there's $3,500, and there's $7,500, right? As far as the ones that you can do. Now, watch the power of this. So, if a person decides that they're going to take the all-in promotion and they pay a $750 admin fee, right, to clear the $7,500 one, they pay $750 admin. They pay $3,500, right? They're now activating the $250, so they get commissions there. The $1,000, so they got commissions there. The $3,500, so they got commissions there. The $7,500, so they got commissions there. And all the pass-ups that they would have had to pay. So $250 would have cost you $750, right? $1,000 would have cost you actually $3,000. $1,000 plus, 2 pass-ups, right? Your $3,500 would cost you the $3,500 plus 2 pass-ups of $7,000 total. That's $10,500 there, right? The $7,500 would cost you $7,500 plus 2 pass-ups. So you were literally going right through the line to take your income up to the next level, right? So that's what I did, okay? That's what I did. So I'm all in, okay? Now Cheryl is also all in, okay? The next person that said she's going all in is Adalia, okay? Now, I don't know about the rest of the people here, guys, but I can tell you this. If you want to make big money in anything, I don't care if you're in iPass, Empower Network, Jeunesse Global, Nerium, you know, prepaid legal, whatever the deal is. Every time that you bring a prospect to the table, here's what they will say to you. How did you get started? It's a good question, right? Right, if you're a leader, it's a good question. Well, how'd you get started? Well, I just got the 184.95. Well, you didn't go all in? No. Okay, I'll just get the 184.95 too. That's what people do. Okay, so when in a power network and iPass as an example, people say to me, Darren, well, what did you do? I say, I went all in. I wanted to start having $3,000 days, so I went all in so I could have $3,000 days. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? And they go, yeah, that does make sense. I'm going to do that too. Do you want to have $3,000 days? Absolutely. Then go all in. See, it's not rocket science, guys. See how that makes sense, right? So if you are speaking to the listening, you're speaking the language of the person that is listening to you as a leader. Now, in the event that you're not all in them yourself, how would you ever expect to attract people into your reality that are going to go all in themselves? Okay? So let me ask you this. Esteban, when you went into iPass and Empower, did you go all in?
No, at the beginning I didn't went all in, but when I was on my first event and I saw the company, the first thing I did when I came back to Colombia was get all in.
Okay. What happened to your mindset when you went all in?
Well, you see this more like a business and less like a hobby or something.
Oh, he cut out there for a second. Esteban, you still there?
So you have to do the stuff, but in their subconscious is like, I don't necessarily have to do this, you know. But when you are all in, boom, is when both parts of the brain like boom align, and when you just do it without thinking if you like it or if you don't like it, you just do it.
Exactly, exactly. So what I'm going to share with you guys, it's definitely something to think about, okay? Because there's going to be people, and when we really get this thing cranking, guys, I'm telling you this, you will remember this conversation, and you will start to see me post some stuff, okay? And you'll be going like, holy crap, okay? Now, I'm going to see if I can actually find this. Let me just share my screen here, because I want to give you guys an idea of what's possible. Okay. Okay, so a couple things that I'm going to just share with you guys. Let me just hit my refresh button to see if there's any updates. Okay, so you'll see me do this a lot, okay? And this is speaking to the listening. Okay, this is called speaking to the listening. So it says here, going live in 5 minutes with live recruiting, okay? Interested in seeing what I do to have personally recruited over 1,000 people into a variety of businesses and consistently risen to the top 10 affiliates on the leaderboards? Hit me up on private message and say, send me the info. Okay, so you notice that I'm speaking to a specific audience. I'm speaking to people that would understand this particular language of affiliate marketing, personally recruited, variety of businesses, leaderboards. Okay, that specific information that people that want to find out about this particular thing are going to reach out. Okay, so, oh, is this a coincidence? Anita is a network marketer. John Gall is a network marketer. If I look across this list, I'm going to also find people that are in the network marketing industry, right? Look at that. These people are specifically in the network marketing industry. So now what I do is I go down the list, right? And I look here to see who have I not talked to lately. Okay, now I can tell you that this particular guy, Warren Little, has been sharing a ridiculous amount of my info, okay? So I just want to find out, okay, so I reached out to him before. I kind of was joking around. I said, looks like we must be brothers from another mother, LOL. Let's connect. Maybe we are related, okay, because his last name is Little. Okay, cool. He said, my mom died last week, and we're dealing with family issues, business. Reach out to me midweek, thanks. So I'm going to say, hey, Warren, how's it going? How is your day so far? Okay. So I use this a lot, guys. So I typically just cut it and paste it. And, you know, I take it and I go to my next ones. So I can tell that this right here is a industry-related post. So I'm going to look to see if there's anybody else on this list that I haven't recently connected with. Okay, so let's see if I have connected with, okay, so William just asked me for some info, I believe. Hello, Mr. D, how's the beautiful family? Send me the info, please. Okay, so I'm going to see, okay, so I wanted to get an idea of what's happening in his life. So I'm going to say, hey, William. Now, I could have just sent a link, guys, but I don't do that, right? Now, this is like me going into the advertising agency and the client selling advertising, and the client saying, so what do you got? Let's see, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Right now, the person that doesn't understand relationships would immediately start pitching features and benefits. Here's how we got, here's what we do, how much it costs, right? But the professional collects data. This is important, guys. You got to write this stuff down. The sales pitch person immediately starts pitching, okay? The professional collects data to see if there's even a fit, okay? So I want to see, how's it going? How's your day so far, Darren? Okay, so let's see what William's up to. So now keep in mind, I want to know where is he currently at and where does he want to go? What's his vision? What does he really want? What does he currently do? How much money does he need to be able to live the type of lifestyle that he wants? What does he want the money for? How serious is he about that from a scale from 1 to 10? And why? That's all I want to collect some data right now. Okay, now, if he's not at his computer right now, I don't know. That was about an hour ago, it says, so I'm going to keep on going on to my recruiting. Okay, so what do we got here? So, okay, now John Gall has been, you know, he's a speaker. He's been following me for quite some time, and I'm just going to reach out just to say a quick hello. Okay, who else do we got here? Okay. I've seen this guy pop up a lot. And I'm pretty sure that I don't know if he's real or not because his name's changed on here. You can see that he used to have his name as something else here. So let's see what he says. Okay. Okay, so you can typically look at somebody's profile, guys, and you can kind of get an idea. This is either a personal development event or she's at a network marketing event, okay? If I look at here, it looks like she's in a weight loss company, right? So if I scroll down here, okay, it looks like she's in Herbalife, okay? So you can see from that post that it's attracting. Now I already said that, so I'm gonna say what's happening. How is your Saturday? Now, sometimes it's hard to know if it's Kusi or Felix. It could be Kusi Felix or Felix Kusi. Some people put their name in backwards, and you never actually know. So anyway, no worries. So let's go down here. Okay, now this is called a value-based post, guys. Okay, you'll see me do a lot of this stuff. So it says when you get up each day, ask yourself these 5 things. Number 1, who can I help today to solve their problem? Number 2, who can I help today to eliminate their pain? Number 3, who can I help today to expand their business by teaching them some new skills and strategies? Number 4, who can I meet today that I didn't know yesterday? Number 5, what value can I add to another person's life to get them connected to their passion and their dream? Okay, so now watch this. Okay, so this is called the naked soul. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so now I'm going to say amazingly well, I had my son in town for 6 weeks over the summer. It sure was great to see him. I sure do miss him a lot. It was his birthday on the 17th. He just turned 16. Okay, now I'm going to say, do you have kids? Okay, now if she says yes, we have something in common. Now, if you can find 3 things in common with a person in a short period of time, like 5 minutes, then people like you. Okay, 3 things in common in 5 minutes, people like you. Okay, so I'm going to find a picture of me and my son. Okay, now let's see what happens. Now, a lot of times what happens is I actually get pictures back of their kids. Okay, I may get she may send picture back right now with her and her children, right? Because that's what human beings do. They're mirrors, right? They're mirrors. They mirror each other. So if I share my world, she will share her world, right? So this gives you an idea of what a sample, okay? So I'm going to keep on going. Okay, now I typically have 5 chats going at the same time. Okay, okay, so here's Dawn that says excellent post, okay? So I haven't talked to Dawn for quite a while. Let me just find out what she's working on. Hey, Dawn. How's it going? How's your day so far? Okay, so let's see what Kusi says. Just 22 years in college. Okay, it almost sounds like she's from Africa. Yeah, it looks like she's from Africa. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to send the one where he says, I just spent 6 weeks with my son and now I feel like a super. I'm going to see if I can get an LOL. This is the picture here. I just spent 6 weeks with my dad and now I feel like a superhero. Booyah. Okay? And I'm going to say thanks. I get an LOL. Okay, I got an LOL. I'm in. Okay? You see that? I just changed her state. Okay? So now I can go directly into, so what exactly is it that she does? Okay, and I'm going to go back here. Looks like she's asked for information. She's trying to get a credit card from the bank to join me on another deal. Okay, so let's find out. So, Kusi, what exactly is it that you do? For your career? Okay, now she said something about oh, wait a sec. This could be a guy. Oh, looks like it's a guy. I thought it was a guy. I thought it was a girl, rather. It looks like it was a girl, so it's actually a guy. I'm now working part-time as a wellness coach and independent distributor at Herbalife. Okay. So I'm going to say, how long have you been doing that? Okay, now here's what I want to know if somebody tells me that they're in another network marketing company, guys. Okay, this is really important. How long have you been doing it? Are you working at it full-time or part-time? How big is your team? And what is your monthly marketing and advertising budget? I can find everything that I need to know about you, your business skills, your team building skills, and what level of money you're making by those 5 questions. Okay. So now he already told me he's working part-time. He's been at it for 11 months. So I want to find out, how big is your team? Okay, now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to load this. Okay, so I'm going to have this loaded in my little cut and paster. Okay, he's taking too long for me and my energy, so I just shut it down and I keep on going. So if somebody does not respond within a certain period of time, guys, I don't sit and wait, okay? So I've said hello to Dawn, she didn't respond, so I'm gone. I said, you know, asked him a question, he didn't respond fast enough, so I'm gone, right? I just close him down and I keep on moving. You have to keep the energy very, very high. Okay, so here is 5 words that'll make you rich. Tell me more about that. Okay, so let's see who else we got here. Now, I can tell you this, guys. If I put out a post and these likes are happening live, you can better believe that I'm on live chat with people that are online right now. Okay, right now. Okay, they go like, hey Tom, how's it going? How's the day going so far? They go like, hey Susan, how's it going? How's the day going so far? They go comment, hey Bob, how's it going? How's the day going so far? Fast, 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 fast. Okay, this is my fishing net. And it's already, you know, the fish are already starting to die because I haven't gotten to the fish fast enough. They're in the net. Okay, so he's got 4 people on his team. Okay? So what is your monthly marketing advertising budget that you work with to expand your business? Or actually, you know what I'm going to say? How much income are you looking to make per month? Okay, I'm going to go right for the close right now. Okay, so he's going to give me a number. I'm going to ask him what he wants the money for, how serious is he about it, and then I will close him on that. Or I'll ask him the closing question. Okay, he may or may not bite, and I don't care. If he does, his life will change forever. He will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of his life. If he doesn't, that's okay. Okay, I'll say, cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? I'll wrap it up and I will move on. Okay, but he will still continue to follow me, right? Okay, so what I want to share with you guys is that you have to get over your internal self-talk and fear that you're going to get rejected by people, okay? If you just reach out to make a new friend, okay, so he wants to make $900 to $1,000 a month. That's really, really low, okay? So I'm not even going to ask him what he wants the money for because it's not even enough money, okay? So watch this. I'm going right for the close right now. If I was to tell you that my students make as much as $8,300 their very first month and $11,500 by month 2, and it was only $184.95 to get started in millionaire mentoring, what would you say? Now sometimes, depending on my mood, instead of what would you say, I say, is that something that might interest you? Okay? Now when I send this, I clear my energy. I'm okay either way. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, it doesn't matter to me whether or not he says no or yes. If he says no, I'm going to ask him what he has planned for the weekend. If he says yes, I'm sending him my link, and I'm going to send him maybe an income verification. So I've got day 34. This is 34 days in. So I'm going to load this. I'm going to wait for his answer. Now, like I say, if he does not respond fast enough, I'm gone. Okay, but this is loaded, ready to go. So I'm going to keep on keeping on, and I'm going to keep on. Did he just answer? No, not yet. Okay, so he says that's great. So now I'm going to say, now I'm going to send him the income. Is that something that might interest you? And if he says no, I'm going to say, cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? There's no attachment to it at all. And this is what people don't realize about this type of an industry, is you have to completely remove your emotions, guys. If you want to make big money and you want to be a seven-figure income earner, you need to remove your emotions out of the equation completely, okay? So, I'm going to say, thanks, Don. Much appreciated. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we got a yes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to probably send my now I'm going to share with you guys this. If I didn't do the stuff that I did early on, I would not be able to do this. Okay, I opened up a gateway here. Okay, look at this. I'm going to replay this again so you guys can see this. Hey, Kusi, what's happening? How's your Saturday? It was cool. And what about yours, please? Amazingly well. I had my son in town for 6 weeks over the summer. Sure was great to see him. I sure do miss him a lot. It was his birthday on the 17th. He just turned 16. Do you have kids? Picture. No, he's 22 years old in college. I didn't understand what he said there because I thought it was a woman at first. Happy belated birthday to him. I send him the joke one. I say LOL. Boom, I got an LOL. I'm in. So, Kusi, what exactly is it you do for a career? He tells me he's a wellness coach. How long you been doing that? 11 months. How big is your team? Only 4. How much income are you looking to make per month? 900 to 1,000. Now I'm going right for the close. If I was to tell you, what would you say? That's great. Boom. Is that something that might interest you? Yes. Okay. So he doesn't have any money. He's broke. He's probably in Africa. No big deal. So I'm going to say, no worries. Training starts next Saturday at 12 noon PST. Nice to chat. Nice to chat. Have a super weekend. Okay. So you can see that it's very light. Okay, when I say to people that recruiting is very casual, it's very casual. There's no hype, there's no big pitch, it's very relaxed, there's no get in now, there's no lock your spot, there's none of that. Okay, it's very casual. Okay? Okay, so what have we got here? Okay, so you notice that this is a value-based post. I can tell you that these leads typically will be of higher quality. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so I can tell right here, just by looking at some of these names, Kimberly Denise and Paul Gardner went through my training. They're now making between $1,000 and $3,000 a day. Okay. Michelle Grote has now become she's got multiple income streams, and she's become, totally transformed her reality from where she was to where she is now. Ryan's an entrepreneur that has a software development company. John Diaz went through my training and became a top recruiter. Sasha is with Empower Network. So you can see that it starts to attract people. Shannon went through my training and made $10,000 in 10 days. Okay. So Esteban's now become a top recruiter. He's probably recruited 2 people by the time we're done on training today. You know, these are very, very simple, easy strategies, guys, to be able to implement into your life. So, but you've got to follow the rules. Okay, so here's an example. So if I see somebody and they're not making any money, okay, so I'm thinking, like, how could you possibly come to my training and still not make any money? Are you for real? How could you come to my training 2, 3, 4, 5 times and still not make any money? This is literally paint by numbers. Like, how could a person follow these exact directions and still not be able to make money? Here's why. Because they don't listen. They don't listen to the rules. Okay, it's like anything. If you wanted to find out how to bake a cake, and you say, Darren, I really want to make a cake, and I say, okay, well, here's what you do. You take a little bit of milk, and you take some eggs, and you whip them for 5 minutes. Okay, and after you do that, then you pour this little cake mix in, and then you put a little bit of lemon juice in, and then you mix it for another 5 minutes. Okay, so instead of doing that, you put flour in with milk and some cake mix, and you started the blender going. You're not going to get the cake. Think about that. This isn't rocket science, guys, right? This is real simple. But if you don't follow the rules, you won't recruit a single person. Okay, so if you're not sending pictures and you're not being a naked soul and you're not asking the right questions and you're handing off the baton to the other person to ask you the questions, forget about it. You'll be down a rabbit hole, you'll waste an hour, 2 hours, and you'll go nowhere, okay, with one person. People go, Darren, I don't know what to do. I get all these conversations with people, and they last an hour. Okay, well, you have not had control of the conversation, number one. Number two, you're not asking the questions that are collecting data. What data do you want? Okay, you want to know what they do, how long they've been doing it, whether or not it's their passion or not. What's their passion? How much money do they need to be able to leave their work and live their passion? What do they want the money for? How serious are they on a scale from 1 to 10? And then go for the close. Those are not difficult questions, guys. Okay, there's only about half a dozen of them. So if it's taking you a whole hour to get through half a dozen questions, something is not right. And if I pull up your chats, there's a good chance all I'm going to see is a white concrete wall. Okay, no pictures, no gateway, no travel, no lifestyle, no family, nothing to do with you, just blank white wall, okay? So if you want to open up the gateway, you've got to be able to connect with people. Connect with people. You've got to be able to change people's state. You've got to get to an LOL. So if I look all the way down your post and you say something like this, hey Tom, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Pretty good, Darren. How about yourself? Hey, listen, I help people add $100,000 a year to their income. Is that something that might interest you? Of course you're going to get slammed. You're not following the directions, right? That's called pitching people, and people hate it. So if you've got no value coming on your wall, right, you will not recruit or you will not generate people that are of higher caliber. If you don't have any value on your wall, value, guys, okay? So let me show you some value. Let me show you the difference. This particular blog post has so much value in it that it's ridiculous, okay? If somebody clicks on that button and they go to this blog post, they can literally save themselves 2 to 3 years of frustration just by reading this one blog post. No joke. And it's not a short blog post, guys. This is a long blog post. Long blog post. Okay, and I give a huge amount of value in this blog post. I take people on a journey emotionally, in their mind, in their body, in their soul, on this one blog post. Okay? This alone, this alone here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about here. Ten simple steps to creating an abundant lifestyle. Okay. Now, with this particular one, I'm going to add a photo. I don't always add a photo to it, but for this particular one, I am. Okay. So, people really like blue water, and I'm going to piggyback off of some data that I already know to be true. People like tropical blue water. It's calming, it makes them feel a certain way, and I've already run tests, and I know for 100% factual that this puts people into a certain state. Okay, it changes their state. Okay, so this is an example of value. 10 simple steps to creating an abundant lifestyle. I've listed below the 10 steps that I follow when setting my intention to create wealth and abundance in my life. Here they are. Number 1, set your intention. Number 2, get emotionally connected to your future reality. Number 3, accept it as truth. 4, believe that it will happen. Number 5, walk forward in complete blind faith. Okay? That means that as you're taking action, you're already believing that everything that you're doing is making it happen. And that means you have to be in control of your thoughts, words, and emotions. Okay? Be very conscious of your thoughts, words, and emotions, that they support your preferred state. Okay? Surrender, relinquish, and love yourself enough to feel worthy of the abundance. Now, these things right here, from there to there, are what most people do not do. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? They don't believe it. They don't accept it as truth. They don't believe that it will happen. They walk forward for maybe one day with blind faith, and then they quit on themselves, and they can't get control of their self-talk, so they create a negative vortex. Okay? Be very conscious of your thoughts, words, and emotions that they support your preferred state. Most people fall flat right there. They can't do that. Okay, so if somebody, as an example, gets 2 or 3 people that say no, they are emotionally connected to that. Okay, now why don't I get rejected? Because I never set myself up to get rejected. So what if I'm talking to people that I know? I'm asking about their life, their vision, their passion, their dreams, their pain, their problem, not my deal. I'm not going to even bring anything up until I have leverage. That means they've told me about their pain. They've told me about their problem. They've told me about their fact that they're not living their passion. They've told me that they hate their boss. Okay, now here's what I'm going to say. Well, you know what, Tom? I don't know if there is a fit here. Okay? I can't make any promises. Okay? Listen to my words, guys. I don't even know if there's a fit here. Okay? I mean, I can't make any promises. Okay, now it's going to be about somebody else. But a really good friend of mine, I mean, he helps people completely turn their lives around in 30 to 90 days. Now, like I said, I can't make any promises here, okay? Now, I'm going to reach out to him. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can line up something. But I'll tell you what. Go grab your day timer. Okay, open it up. Whatever you've got going on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, which would be your launch call, P.S., cancel it. Okay, I'm going to reach out to my friend. Let me see if he's available. Let's see if we can line something up to see if we can help you. You see the difference in the energy? But instead of, well, man, I got this thing, I'm telling you. You can make a fortune in this. I'm telling you, you'd be great at this thing, man. I'm telling you, you got to do this. You got to do this, man. You got to do this. You'd be so great at this. You got to do this. You should just do it. Really? And do you know that I will go through and do this training, guys, and you will hear my exact words? Do you know that you could listen to this countless times? Do you know that I have recordings on how I close and upsell? And do you know that people will still reach out to people and say, I help people make $100,000 a year. Is that something that would interest you? Even if they've been on my mentoring once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times for 3 hours a time. I can still pull up their chats, see no pictures, no naked soul, no questions, no control of conversation, and I'm thinking to myself, are you for real? What happened in the time of this mentoring that you just did not get? Because obviously you weren't mentally, physically, or emotionally in attendance, right? Does this make sense, guys? Okay, so these 2 people here, or 3 people, would be really good prospects. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so this is okay, so what do we got? Okay, so let's reach out to Shane. Shane, give me a ring tomorrow, or actually Monday. Let's connect and get you into the money zone. Okay, so now now this is something, guys, I'm telling you, that when people realize that the train is leaving the station, they come in floodgates. Okay, now you may have seen this before happen, so you may not be familiar with what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you this for 100% fact. Okay, I've been at this for 25 years. If you compress energy on a specific focus, a definiteness of purpose, and you get so laser connected and emotionally connected to your intention, and you speak it into reality, you write it into your reality, you proclaim it into your reality, you accept it as truth, you walk forward in complete blind faith that what you have set as your intention is going to happen, and you get control over your thoughts, words, and emotions. Okay? You have to get control over your thoughts, words, and emotions. If you don't, you will not create the reality you want. Real simple. Simple to do, simple not to do. Is it simple to speak about what you want? Yes. Is it simple to speak about what you don't want? Yes. Both are very simple. Now, most of the time, for the majority of the population, once something goes wrong, that's all they think about. And they actually manifest a negative vortex to happen in their life. Okay? So they go to talk to their friend Tom. Instead of following the mentoring, they go back into pitching. Oh, Tom, I got this thing, man. I'm telling you, we're making so much money. You got to look at it. You got to get in, man. I'm telling you, you got to lock your spot, man. This is the best thing. I'm telling you, you got to do it, right? All you will get is pushback, 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 pushback. So the moment that that starts, here's what your mind will do. Oh, I really thought Tom would be perfect for this. Oh, if he said no, probably everybody's going to say no. Oh, I can't believe this. This will never work. I'll never be able to get my money back. That's what most people do, okay? Don't be one of those people, okay? Because you won't. That's what will happen. Yes, you're right. You will not be able to get your money back. Absolutely. Because that's what you speak right into their reality. That's how it happens. Okay, so let's reach out to Franz. Franz asked for the info the other day, and I'm going to say, hey, Franz, how are you? How is your day so far? Okay, so all I want to know from Franz is, now I'm gonna open up another gateway. I'm gonna see if I sent him any pictures. Okay, so I'm gonna open up a gateway. I'm gonna say I had an amazing Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in here into my pictures. Okay, so I'm going to pull this picture of this event we went to last night. Okay, now the previous night we went to this really funky, super cool fashion show. And I'm going to see, okay, so I'm gonna pull one of these. And I'm gonna say CB. Okay, now most people, guys, I'm going to tell you this for fact. Most people, all they can do is pitch, 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 pitch. Okay? If you're not building a connection, if you're not sharing your life, you are broke. Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I am saying, guys. Write this down in big, bold letters. If you are not sharing your life, if you are not connecting with people, soul to soul, you are broke. Period. Look at your bank account. If you are afraid to be vulnerable, if you're afraid to open up, if you're afraid to share pictures of your real life on social media, go get a job, because you will never ever make it in this industry. I'm telling you straight. Might sound harsh, but it's absolutely true. Okay? If you are not prepared to be vulnerable, if you are not prepared to share your real life story, go get a job, because this industry is not for you. Okay, now after I do this, I can find out from him, you know, okay, let's see what we got. Crazy day, I had to help my sister kick a squatter out of her home. I love her, but she has no backbone. Okay, so, interesting. Okay, so, okay. Okay, so I want to find out from Franz, because we haven't really had a chance to like connect to. So, Franz, what exactly is it that you do anyway? Are you a mentor? Okay. So I just want to find out what okay, remember me telling you guys about the advertising, me selling advertising accounts and branding deals. I can't help a person unless I know where they currently are and where do they want to go, right? How much money are they currently making? How much money do they want to make? What's the lifestyle that they have now and what's the lifestyle that they want? It's two distinct realities, okay, in the timeline, okay? So what's the reality like now and what's the reality that they want in the future? And I can go back and forth between these two worlds, where they are, where they want to go, where they are, where they want to go, where they are, where they want to go, right? That's how you can get to not only bringing somebody into your company, but how to upsell them. That's how you upsell people into higher ticket items. Okay, so here's how this works. So, Tom, let me ask you a question. Okay, now you will hear me say those words a lot if I'm on the phone. So, Tom, let me ask you a question. I mean, what exactly is it that you want? Tell me about your vision. Why did you get started with the business in the first place? Tell me more about that. Okay, now I'm going to take mental notes. Okay, listen to me again. So Tom, let me ask you a question. I mean, what is it that you really want? I mean, you know, why did you get involved in the business in the first place? I mean, what's your vision? Tell me more about that. Now he's going to be connecting emotionally to the future reality. Okay, he's going to be connecting emotionally to the future reality. Now, all I want to know is how much money does he want? Now, if somebody tells me this, so give me an idea. I mean, how much money do you want to make in the next year? A lot. Okay, that's zero. Okay, as much as I can. Okay, you just asked for another zero from the universe. Listen to what I'm saying again, guys, because I tell people this. Okay, so give me an idea. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? A lot. Okay, that's a zero. So give me an actual number. What's the number that you want? 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Somebody says a lot, or as much as I can make, or, you know, I'm not really too sure. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do to help that person. Nothing. Because they have no idea where they're going and they have no idea how much money they want to create. Okay? So you as the leader need to lead the person. Okay? If you are not leading the person, then they're going to ping pong you all the way around and up and down and back and forth, and they're going to be in control of the situation. You as the leader need to guide the person on where to go. You as the leader need to ask the questions so they can come to the conclusion that you want them to come to. Listen to what I'm saying again, guys. You need to be the leader that's going to lead them to where you want them to go. They don't know. You need to ask the questions that is going to have them make the decision, because they're going to come to a conclusion that makes sense for them. That's why you'll hear me say a lot of times, let me ask you a question. This makes sense, doesn't it? If I was to tell you this that did this, what would you say? Right? You'll hear me say these things a lot. I mean, if there was a way that you could do this to be able to get all of your dreams and your goals, and it was already tried, tested, and proven, and you could get started for as little as $184.95, it would make sense to get started today, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm a mentor. My last name is Mentor. I do fitness and wellness motivational speaking. I would say MLM, but I'm not that active. I see. Okay. So, okay, cool. So he's a good candidate here. So I'm going to say, how much money are you wanting to make per month? Okay, so if he gives me a number, I have leverage. This is what you got to understand about recruiting. Okay, so he's already expressed interest in what it is that I'm doing. He's reached out to find out about how to become a top recruiter. I sent him the Saturday training. Hey, how are you? How's your day so far? I had an amazing weekend so far. There's a gateway. We went to this really cool fashion show as well. There's another gateway, another gateway. Was seriously entertaining. He talked about his crazy day. He had to help his sister out, blah, blah, blah. I built a little bit of bridge there. I see. I hope it went okay. Wow, glad it all worked out. Now I'm right back into what I want. Because, see, I'm in control. I'm the one that's asking the questions, not him. Okay, so I'm the one that's steering the conversation all the way through. Okay, so I'm waiting for an answer to my question. When I get the answer, guess what I'm doing? I'm asking another question. The person that asks the questions controls the conversation. So if he gives me a number, I want to find out what he wants the money for, how serious is he, and now I'm going to go for the close. Okay, real simple. There's only a couple questions. Now, people say to me, Darren, how is it possible that you can recruit new reps so fast? Guys, this is a science. This deals with quantum physics. This deals with speaking your reality into existence. This deals with human psychology. This deals with neuro-linguistic programming. All this stuff that you guys get as a bonus just by being on this team. Okay, now here's what I'm going to share with you. If you are not leveraging this training, you do not get this industry. Bottom line. If you do not realize that 97% of every single person that's out in that industry has a problem with recruiting and doesn't know any of this information, and you are not leveraging a $1,000 training to get them to this weekend, you do not get anything that I've said to you today. You do not get the fact that networkers are people connectors and problem solvers. People connectors and problem solvers. And the challenge is that your ego will not surrender and relinquish to be okay being the messenger. That's why you can't make money. Guys, it's important that you get this. Okay? Because here's what my mentor taught me. Darren, stop trying to be the front man. You're not ready. You don't have an income story. Just connect people back to me. Let me provide the value. Now, when I got that, guys, I did $40,000 in sales my very first month in business over 25 years ago. Okay? The moment that I surrendered my pride and my ego and I stopped trying to be the front man. Okay, I stopped trying to be the know-it-all. I stopped trying to be the person that could answer all the questions. I played stupid. That's how I made big money. I played stupid. You know what, Tom? That is a really good question. Let's line something up with Harvey, and you have any other questions? Why don't we make a list of all your questions? We'll line something up. We'll get them all answered. We'll see if there's a fit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's not even a fit here. I don't know. Right? And then I would do the takeaway. Right? There's a science to this, guys. Okay. So, would that be enough to live the life you want? Okay, so when he tells me that he only wants $7,000 a month, I said, how much money are you wanting to make to live a freedom lifestyle? Guys, do you realize that most mortgage payments are like $2,000 a month? And $7,000 minus taxes, that's not even enough to take one vacation a year. Okay, seriously, do the math on that. $7,000. If your mortgage is $2,000, you got $5,000 left. Let's drop like, a couple of grand plus off for taxes. You're literally on poverty row, okay? And I would encourage you guys all to do this exercise, okay? Because I did this exercise about 18 years ago, okay? And I will tell you that 18 years ago, the minimum wage in my world, okay, to have a house, to have a car, to be able to go on a vacation, to pay gas and insurance and groceries and go out for dinners, here and there, and to at least have like $5,000. That if somebody came along and said, Darren, I got the opportunity of a lifetime, if you invest in this, you can become a millionaire, okay? Just $5,000, not more than that, okay? The minimum wage, guys, this is going to shock you. Minimum wage is $130,000 a year. Minimum wage. Do the math. Start doing the deductions. 130K, take half that off for tax. So now you're down to $5,000 a month. Okay, $2,000 goes to your mortgage. You only have $3,000 a month left. Most half-decent cars that have any type of style are probably $800 a month, right? So now what are you at? You've got, so you're at $2,200. That doesn't include your insurance for your car or gas. That doesn't include your house insurance. That doesn't include any clothing. Okay, that doesn't include any vacation. So when you actually do this exercise, your life will completely transform. Most people never do it. Even though I tell them about this story right today, they never actually ever take any action to do that one exercise. Minimum wage, guys, 18 years ago was $130,000 a year. It's gone up now because of inflation, right? But I would encourage you to actually figure this stuff out. Go down and find out what a half-decent car costs to lease per month. Start looking at real estate and find out what a down payment that you need and a monthly mortgage payment is. Find out what a vacation actually costs to have take off for 2 weeks and go to a place that's half decent, right, where you can stay in a really nice resort or a nice hotel for 2 weeks. Start doing this research, guys. Start going into clothing stores and find out what a really well-made suit costs, or a designer dress or a suit or outfit, right? Find out what this stuff costs. You will be shocked when you find out that what you thought was the promised land is literally nothing. $7,000 will not get him to a life of freedom. That's beyond poverty right there. No joke. Deduct taxes, take tax. You're renting at $7,000 a month. You're pretty much renting, okay? Because a half decent here in Vancouver, a $500,000 property, which is nothing. It's a little tiny box, right? You're looking at a $2,000 mortgage payment for that. So keep that in mind, guys. Do the exercise, because most people never actually do it. Now, I can tell right now by how long it's taken him to answer that he's never really thought about this stuff, guys. These exercises, okay, so he says plenty, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go for the close right now because I'm going to just pull it from this last one. Okay, now keep in mind, when I send that, I am clear. Okay, so if he says, no, not really, I go, cool, what do you got planned for tomorrow or the rest of the weekend, right? I've got no emotional attachment to whether or not he says yes or no. If he says yes, I can get that guy into a $7,000 monthly income within 90 days if he follows my training and he just shows up, okay? Here's the challenge. People say that they want to make money, but they really don't because they don't show up. They say that they want to make money, but then they don't follow the directions. They say they want to make money, but they don't do 25 connections in any given day to break inertia in the first 3 weeks. They say they want money, but they just won't be coachable. They say they want money, but they won't surrender their pride and their ego to be the messenger instead of the front man. All this stuff, guys. Now, if you had your new people go through this level of training and understanding of mindset and quantum physics and chat and questions and control and what to do and how to do it, you think you might have a little bit of duplication going on in your business? Right? What do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think, Jason? You think if your whole team of people, because here's the interesting thing I'm going to share with you guys, okay? Jason's here, but his 4 or 6 new people aren't. How about that? Jason's here, but his 4 or 6 new people aren't here. And
2 are.
Okay, 2 are here out of the 4. Okay, those are the people that are going to get you money because those are the clone copies of you. Okay, and the best way, guys, trust me on this. Esteban, are you there?
Yes, sir. Got 2 yeses. Got 2 yeses while I was because I got a breakthrough, and it's what you said about the this whole thing about what's in our mind, you know, and what we well this whole negativity stuff. So I was struggling in my mind, like thinking, oh, I won't be an all-in because I don't have the money. And the game, in this game, if the mentors only pay attention to the ones that are producing or are all in. They don't pay attention to the ones that are not producing or are like, you know. So then when you said like you told your story about your company, and you were like not crying about it, and you were thinking about um, what you had to do to raise more money, I started thinking, well, what do I have to do to get more money to be all in? Because, well, that's something I got to do. So I posted a picture of the mastermind of this hangout and posted on Facebook and said, well, I don't remember what I posted. Then 2 people approached to me and told me, hey, Esteban, who is your mentor? And then we start talking, blah, 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 and got to yeses. No. One guy, I asked one guy, well, do you know English? And he said, no, but I'm willing to learn. And that, boom, pops into my mind. So I said, well, if people doesn't know English, I can just replicate Darren's training, you know. The only thing they got to do is to come in, and because language was my limitation, and also what was in my mind, you know, was recruiting people, but only for the not so cool deal, you know, because it's another cool deal, but it's less. You have to pay less, no, much less, no. So I was had a lot of limitations in my head, and
Okay. Okay, so guys, that's phenomenal. You know what I'm going to tell you, Esteban? You know what I really
yes,
like about you, my friend?
yes, sure.
Here's what I really like. Okay? I like that you listen. I like that you're coachable, and I like that you take massive action immediately. Literally, during my training, you're already signing people up. Guys, I'm telling you this. There's a lot to be said about that character of a person that Esteban is. Okay? He's got no excuses. He listens, and he instantly puts into action what he's learning. Okay? He doesn't try to digest it and think about it, and maybe that'll work, maybe that won't work, I don't know, maybe someday, maybe some way, I don't know, we'll do that next week. He doesn't do that. The moment that he hears something, he instantly applies it. He puts it into forward momentum the moment that he gets the step, the moment that he gets it. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. If you had sat with me in my spot a few months back when Esteban came over and sat down with me and, you know, talked about his life in Colombia and everything else, guys, you wouldn't even recognize him as being the same person. This is no word of a lie, okay? This guy right here is a superstar. He will lead thousands and thousands of people to victory. I'm not joking. Okay, you're going to see this over the next 12 to 18 months on how he rises up, okay? And he will become like a success vortex. Okay? He will become a success vortex, okay? Because he goes through 3 simple things, okay? He learns something, he implements it, and then he shares his results. He learns a strategy, he shares what he learned, right, to get a following, right, while he's applying it, and he shares his results. That's why he's succeeding. Okay, so he can say, as an example, like here, let me show you, let me give you an idea about leverage, okay? Guys, I was just on a 3-hour millionaire mentoring session, okay? And I learned one strategy that during the mentoring session alone got 2 people to say yes to my company. If I get 40 likes, I'm doing a webinar. Now he's got an audience, okay? Guys, I was just on a millionaire mentoring session, and during that session, I took one of the strategies and recruited 2 new people into my business, okay? Now, next Saturday, I'm going to be doing another live millionaire mentoring session with my mentor. Guys, I can only take 4 people with me on this journey. Now, if you want to be able to recruit new reps in minutes into your business, hit me up on private message and say, send me the info. Do you realize that all the way through the week, people are going to be sending him messages? Send me the info, send me the info, send me the info, send me the info. Right? So what does he do? He sends a banner to Black Ops Underground Training, and he says, if you want access to the training, you need the $25, $50, and $100 products. So now he leverages the recruiting training to recruit for his own business, guys. You see how that works? Right? Because he doesn't have to try to be the front man. He's just the messenger. Okay? So he's got an experience, right? He doesn't have to be the front person that's going to show you how to do it all yet. Eventually he will be, but he doesn't have to do that now. Okay? So all he needs to do is get good at the front part. People connecting, right? Asking questions to collect data, piquing their curiosity, and getting out of the way. Okay, now here's what I'm going to share with you guys. Most people can't get out of their own way, and they can't shut up, and they blow the deal. Because if they have not yet made income, guess what they set themselves up for? How much money are you making? They set themselves up for failure. Now, if you could surrender your pride and your ego and not have to be the front person, it's impossible to get asked that question. Because you're not even the person that's providing the solution. Somebody else is. Does that make sense, guys? Why would you want to set yourself up for failure when all you've got to do is the connecting, the relationship, collecting the data, piquing the curiosity, and meet my millionaire mentor? See how that works? So you could literally, in the next 7 days, if you follow what I just said, you can watch this again if you want. If you follow what I said, and you stop trying to be the front person, you can't fail. Because I can tell you this, if you bring somebody to millionaire mentoring, right, they're going to have success. You're going to get duplication in your business, guys. You will. Because they're going to watch me do it. Okay, now guess what magically happened? I want you guys to see this. Because I recruited somebody while we were on this call. Now, if this isn't enough for you guys to realize that what you may have been doing is not working, and what I'm doing is working, then something is not gelling. Because I've gone through right here in minutes. Hey friends, how are you? How was your day so far? I had an amazing weekend so far. Gateway. We went to this really cool fashion show. Gateway. Gateway. Crazy day. I had to help my sister kick a squatter out of her home. I love her, but she has no backbone. She was very disrespectful. Seriously entertaining. I was talking about that one. My fashion show. I see. I hope it went okay. I don't do disrespect to my family. It's over now, so I'm happy. Wow, glad it all worked out. So I summarize that and I wrap it up. So friends, what exactly is it that you do anyway? Are you a mentor? Yes, I am a mentor, and my last name is Mentor. So I do fitness and wellness, motivational speaking, etc. I would say MLM, but I'm not that active. How much money are you wanting to make per month to live a freedom lifestyle? $7,000. Would that be enough to live the lifestyle you want? Plenty. My wife would say more. If I was to tell you that my students make as much as $8,300 the very first month and $11,500 by month 2, and it was only $184.95 to get started in Millionaire Mentoring, what would you say? Sign me up. That's amazing. I wanted to be on the call. However, I had to help my sister out. Get started here. That's the next step for me. I need a mentor to get me to where I need to go. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the team. Guys, you're seeing this happen live. Live. I can't, make it any easier than to show you me doing live recruiting as I'm talking to you guys and recruiting somebody in minutes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to share with you is this. You only need 4 people! I just did one in a couple minutes. Right? This isn't hard. It's not rocket science. Now, if you're not doing those steps that I just did, yes, this will be hard for you. If you are not opening up a gateway with pictures, yes, you will be bumping into a wall, 100%. If you are not getting people to an LOL or changing their state, yes, it will be a problem for you. If you are not asking the questions and controlling the conversation, yes, it will be hard for you. You will get pitched all the time. You won't be able to recruit anybody out of a wet paper bag. If you don't follow the rules, you won't get results. Does that make sense, guys? Like, it's not rocket science, right? I mean, you guys saw it happening live. I did it last week live too, right? Another person said, yeah, they wanted to join. So how could it be? How could we go week to week to week to week to week to week and have nothing happening in your business? Okay, you're either blocked emotionally and you don't feel worthy of abundance. Okay, that's one possibility. Okay, you either are in a position where you have such a fear of potentially being rejected, and you can't get rejected by asking somebody how's their day going, by the way, just so you know. It's impossible. You can't say to somebody, how's it going, how's your day going so far, and have them go, hey, wait a sec, you're in a pyramid scheme. It's not possible, right? It's not possible, right? So what I want to share with you guys is that the only thing separating you from getting into momentum, right here, self-talk, thoughts. What are you thinking about? Because if you get emotionally connected to your future reality of what you want versus what you don't want, you will open up a gateway. So if you say, this week, okay, I am a top recruiter. This week, I am recruiting new reps to my business in minutes. Right? This week, I am moving my business forward into forward momentum, into liftoff. This week it's happening. This week, between Monday and Saturday. This week, I am leveraging the Millionaire Mentoring to recruit 4 to 6 people. See the difference in that self-talk? See the difference in me creating that reality? Because that is my intention. Okay, I'm going to set my intention that I'm recruiting 4 to 6. I'll be happy with 4, but I can tell you this, Jason recruited 4 in 24 hours. His vision expanded last week. Jason realized this was way easier than what he ever thought it would be. Way easier. And he's recruiting at a higher ticket item. Okay? Now here's what I want for you guys to understand in closing. If I was to do this for somebody and sit down like this with somebody, they would pay me $1,000 to do this today. That's fact. So you have that in your back pocket as a bonus. Do you realize that? You have a $1,000 bonus that you can market called Black Ops Underground Marketing Training, and people get access to it for $184.95. That is a massive recruiting tool, guys. Seriously. And people actually watch me recruit somebody live. People don't do this, guys, honestly. Leaders do not offer this type of thing to their teams to show people how to do live recruiting. They don't. Here's what they do. They take your money and they say, welcome aboard, we'll see you at the top. Right? That's what the majority of them do. I'm not saying all of them, because there are some out there that, you know, they go the extra mile for their teams. They do team hangouts like this. Right? They help the people to get into liftoff, right? But most of the time, people are just doing what I call churning and burning, churning and burning, churning and burning. All they're interested in is that front-end money. They don't understand depth in an organization. Okay, so Cheryl, any breakthroughs today?
Yes, connecting with that simplicity. And I wrote down tons of notes and I'm hitting it.
Fantastic. Okay, Ryan, any breakthroughs today? Okay, Jason, any breakthroughs today?
Yes, absolutely. I was having a little bit of a issue when I was talking to network marketers, like other marketers, about helping them expand their business. And watching you actually do that with other marketers really helped me out. I wrote down the things that you said to them, because I was able to, you know, connect with other people who really weren't in the industry, and because sometimes when people are in the industry, their mind gets like this. I don't know how to explain it, but they become like numb to the fact of the possibility of actually making money in this, because they've been doing it so long without making money. So when you actually did that, you really showed me how I can, you know, tap into them a lot better than what I was already doing.
Cool.
And also, yeah, I just want to state the fact that once you get that LOL, it's like everything just starts spewing out of them. Like, you can just ask them any question and get any answer out of them. It's pretty awesome.
Is that awesome or what, right?
It really is. It really is.
It really is cool. Okay, so here's, on that same note, guys, here's something that I'm going to share with you, okay? So if somebody is in another business, okay, they're in another network marketing company, these are the things that I want to know, okay? Number one, how long have you been in? Okay, they say I've been in a year, right? Cool. Are you doing it full-time or part-time? If they tell me they're doing it part-time, they're broke. They would be a full-time marketer if they were making enough to make a full-time income, right? They're not, so they're at a job, right? So are you doing it full-time or part-time? I'm doing it part-time. Cool. How big's your team? I know how much money they're making now. Right? I know how much money they're making. How big's their team? Okay, now if they tell me their team's like, you know, 50, right? There's a good chance that the majority of those people, if they're in a binary deal, were probably placed down in a line, on a power line, so they really only have a couple, truth be known, Okay? So now I want to know two more questions. Who is your mentor? Okay? Because if you don't have one, I can help you. Saturday Quick Start Training, right? And what is your monthly marketing and advertising budget to run your business and get it into liftoff? Okay, now if you're part-time, you don't have a business really going, right? You've got a little tiny minuscule team, chances are you're going to go, a budget? Are you for real? I'm not even making enough money to even pay for my auto ship. Guess what? I can now help. Okay? Now watch how this one works. Well, you know what, Tom? I just found out how to help people in whatever company you're in, Jeunesse Global, add $2,000 to $3,000 to their monthly marketing budget in 60 to 90 days. Now, what do most people say when I say that? How do you do that? Watch this video, right? Because at 2,000 to 3,000, they only need about, I don't know, let's do the math here, guys. It's like peanuts. To make $2,000 a month in this deal, $2,000 divided by 175 is 11.42. So 11.5, say 12. I'm going to add 3 for the first 3 pass-ups because there's going to be pass-ups coming. So 12. So with a team of 15 people, right? Actually, 2 pass-ups, so 12, 14. So with 14 people on their team, that's like they've got 50. So with 14, they could be making $2,000 a month. Okay, so they're at 50. They don't even make enough money to pay their auto ship. Okay, and I can show them how with 14 people they can make $2,000 a month and put that back into their business. You think I might have their attention, right? That's how I've recruited so many people, guys. Okay, now I can tell you this. I went from, in Empower Network as an example, from 0 to 10,000 a month in about 40 days, right? Because all I wanted to share was that. I just found out how to help people in XYZ company add $2,000 to $3,000 to their monthly marketing budget in 60 to 90 days. Really? How do you do that? Watch this video, right? Now, that video may need to be you doing a PowerPoint presentation showing how with, 100% commissions and 2,000 divided by 175 equals the number, Black Ops training, little overview, screenshot, picture of the back office or my results. Guys, if you're not leveraging the results I've had, then you don't get this business of everything that I've talked about, okay? It doesn't have to be you. It just has to be from the team, right? So I can say as an example, we have people on our team making as much as $11,375 in the first 34 days. That's a true story, right? People that have never been able to recruit are turning into top recruiters within 72 hours of going through our marketing boot camp. That's a true story. People that have never been able to recruit are recruiting reps in 6 to 45 minutes by being on our team. Those are true stories, guys. Right? So if you're not leveraging that, you haven't surrendered your pride and your ego yet, and you still think you've got to go out and prove that you can be the man, you can be the woman. Don't do that. That'll keep you broke. We got amazing stories in our team. Leverage the stories. Leverage the training. Every one of you, okay, do you realize this? Every single one of you, I have personally given you $4,000 a month bonus that you can leverage for yourself to become a top recruiter. You have a $4,000 monthly bonus that you can recruit with. That's insane, right? Now, if you still can't recruit people with a $4,000 monthly bonus, it's your ego that will not let you do it. It's your ego. It's your pride, and you still think you've got to be the front man. You still think you've got to be the front woman. Okay, that's the best I can do for you guys. Okay, is show you live recruiting and give you a $4,000 monthly bonus so that you can leverage that. Right? Okay, so Gil, any breakthroughs today?
Yes, the questions, how to use the right questions. That was very important for me. I write all the questions, you know, if you like your job, if it's your passion. I think that those questions very important. The way we can open that, I can open that conversation with the people.
Okay. So what I'm going to share with you on that, Gil, is remember that when somebody says, how's your day going so far, you got to be that naked soul, bro. Okay, you got to open up your life and share some pictures to create that gateway to let them into your world. Okay, before you're going to bridge over and ask them about, you know, their career, their job, or anything else. Okay, it's important to open up that gateway. Esteban, any breakthroughs today?
Yes, I got three. The first one was don't let the fish die too fast, because that was what was happening to me. I posted really cool stuff and people was liking it, but I was letting the fish dying. So I'm gonna be quicker. And
Good breakthrough. Good breakthrough.
in the chats. The other breakthrough was the guiding part. You have to guide the people. I was not doing that not that well, and also I got another breakthrough about the stories. You know, because I was like not telling not telling like a story at the end in the closing question. What if I was about to tell you that there was this training and someone already got like a XYZ amount of dollars in a month. I was not using that, and I just use it in those two chats, and boom, they say yes like in 2 minutes. And both opt-in, they didn't haven't paid, but both opt-in. No, I have also a breakthrough this during this week, and it was about the goosebumps. And that's like the sign that things are gonna work, and it happened. So things start manifesting, but like you have to feel goosebumps here and in your legs. I don't know why, but it's the way it works.
You're absolutely bang on, Esteban. You're absolutely bang on. See, what's really cool, Esteban, is that what is separating you apart from a lot of people, okay, out in the industry is a couple things. Number one, you show up every week, okay? Critical, show up, okay? But more than that, you take notes when you show up because I can see you, right? The next thing is that you instantly apply what you're learning into real life instantly. And that, guys, will determine your success or failure in this type of a business model. Because we're in something right now. We're on an energy portal. You guys are getting energy transference, okay? If you've made millions of dollars, guys, trust me when I tell you, your body is in a certain vibration. It vibrates. Okay? Now, if you can, you know, take something and make it into millions, your body will carry a vibrational resonance. Okay, now here's what I'm going to share with you. As you keep on going in personal development, seminar, subconscious cleanup, mind, inputting, speaking the reality into existence, proclamations, vision board, right? Here's what I'm going to share with you. There will come a time for every single person on this panel where you will just show up to an event, okay, and people will come in a certain circumference of you, and you will see them. They're right here. They'll go. Their face will start to go like this, and they will bawl. They will start bawling their eyes out. They will literally go into spontaneous combustion, okay? Because their body is raising in vibration as they're getting closer to you, and they can't hold it back. Right? Spontaneous combustion. And I'm not joking, guys. I'm just preparing you that as you go through more and more of this training, you know, when something like that does happen to you, don't get all freaked out over it, okay? Because it will happen. Okay, just be prepared. You know, it might be 6 months from now or a year from now, but that's the next stage of what happens when you tap into this information. Okay, Dan, any breakthroughs today? DeAndre, any breakthroughs?
Yes, yes, Darren, a lot of breakthroughs in this call. The most powerful one was about who you hang around. I've heard that so many times, but not in the way you said it, where I actually wrote down who I talk to most about, especially about the portals. I never seen it like that, and when I wrote it down, it really made me think I need to not only get away from the people that I'm around, and being young, I'm still under my parents. And one of the risks of success, like you said, we have to kind of tell our parents that I want to get to a higher vibration, a higher level in life, and I have to step away for a bit. I have to get around people who have what I want, like yourself, and talk to more people like yourself. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I've been under your studies for a long time, almost a year now. I haven't been breaking through because I've been around the same people who make the same amount of money that I don't even want to make.
Exactly. And here's what I'm going to share with you guys. If you don't do this, okay, if you do not do this action step that I'm going to tell you guys, it's because of your own deservability and worthiness, okay? But I tell all of my students to get your butt down to a Bentley dealership and sit your ass in a Bentley. Okay? I don't care whether or not you want one or not. Okay? That car holds a certain vibrational resonance to that car, and the car will transfer energy into your body if you trust this process. Okay, so get your butt down to a Bentley dealership. If you feel that you have to put on a suit or get dressed up for it, make it a whole event. Okay, I'm not joking, you guys. Okay, if you want to take your life to another level, get your butt and sit in a car that's worth $300,000 or more. It will completely change your life. And I don't care whether or not you want one or not. It has nothing to do with the assignment. Okay? Get your butt down and sit in a car that is worth $300,000 or more. Okay? So there's certain higher level Mercedes-Benz, the gull wings and whatnot. They might fit into that category. There is the Lamborghinis that would fit into that category. There's the McLaren. There's Bentley. There's only a certain number. You know, Porsche is on the lower scale of it, Esteban, although it's, you know, it's still okay. If you wanted to sit in a Porsche, it'd be better if it was the GT, the Carrera GT, which is about $500,000, you know, because here's what I'm going to share, guys. Everything holds a vibrational frequency, okay? And if something has been made by hand, okay, it's holding a significant amount of energy force in it. Significant. Okay, so a Bentley, when you sit in that car and you listen to the sound the door makes when it shuts, it is ridiculous quality. Okay, it's next level. Okay, the shifter in the center console with the B logo and the detail in all of the switches and the wood, guys, it'll change your life. Okay, and it doesn't matter to me whether or not you want the car. Okay, it's important though that you feel worthy of the car. Big difference. Worthy and deserving. Okay, worthy and deserving. Okay, Adalia, any breakthroughs today? Adalia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I do have some breakthroughs. My biggest thing is stepping into my power and being the leader. So this morning I was going through a spiral. I always blame myself for me not succeeding at what I want to do. So my breakthrough is just stop speaking what I don't want into my reality, and start speaking what I want, and step into my power and become that leader. So I did have a PowerPoint presentation set up so I could have some hangouts and have some webinars and share what I've learned. And I know that I could do this. I've been on this Millionaire Mentoring with you for over a month now, and I hear it every Saturday. I'm always in attendance. I just have to surrender my pride, surrender my ego, and step into my power and be that leader.
Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome. I want to do a real quick summary here so that you got stuff that you can work with for this week. Okay. Number one, get your butt down to a dealership. Okay, seriously. Okay. The second thing is every single one of you should be working on a three-dimensional vision board. Okay. Now you can go to darrenlittle.com/vision, the dash sign, boards. Okay, and I give you step-by-step instructions on how to actually do one. Okay, now if you want to take it one step further, okay, and really get the breakdown, there's a product that I have called subconscious mind tapping that I highly, highly, highly recommend. Okay, now I've posted a couple of the interviews of people that actually are graduates from subconscious when he met me. Within 6 months, he had a $20,000 month, and I interviewed him last night, and he's launching his own network marketing company now. That was from a guy that was homeless when he met me. Okay, Shengmei Shirley, she was a makeup artist, and she was literally in clinical depression. She couldn't sleep at night, and then she couldn't get up in the morning. She was literally didn't even want to go into work. Okay, and it was something that had her so far down that rabbit hole she didn't even know how to get out of it. Okay, she's totally turned her life around. She has a whole following now, a fan base that follows her on social media. She won the three-dimensional vision board contest. She won $250 cash and a $600 millionaire mentoring session. And Eric Green was 10 years of failure. He was making between $4,000 and $5,000 a month. He went through subconscious mind tapping. He got through my millionaire mentoring. He just had a $70,000 month. $70,000 month, guys. Rex Harris, 10 years of failure. He went through the training. He made $60,000 in 90 days, and he made $14,000 in a 5-day period of time. These are all real stories, guys. There's no reason why you can't be that next success story. So get plugged in, show up for this week, realize that the gateway, guys, okay, the gateway to your future lies in cleaning up your past, okay? You have to be the detective. If you're stuck right now, you've got to look at your core beliefs about money. You've got to look at what is going on. What was the programming that you got from your parents? What did they say to you growing up about money? They say money doesn't grow on trees. It takes money to make money. A penny saved is a penny earned. You got to look back at what your beliefs were and how that could be hindering your growth to get to the next level. Okay, so here's an example. Let's say that somebody is now an adult, but they get to a point where they could potentially be making more than their parents, right? They go through a battle. They go through this struggle, right? Where they have to actually come to terms with the fact that it's okay, right, to make more than their parents made, right? These type of things can actually stop you and put a ceiling or suppression on you, right? Or if you don't feel worthy. Okay, so here's an example. Let's say that somebody grew up and they were like 7 or 8 years old and they were going to go to the store and they asked the father if they could hold the money, right, to go get the little groceries down the street. And the mother saw it and said, "Don't give that money to Cheryl. She'll probably drop it and lose it." That one thing can affect you for the rest of your life. And guess what magically happens? Every time you get money, you lose the money. You get more money, you lose the money. What you don't realize, it was the programming that happened when you were 8. Because that's what your parents programmed you to believe would happen if you got money. You see how that works, guys? So you got to start to look at being the detective now and cleaning up that past and figuring out what's going on right now in your world to get to this next level. So, chats, 25 connections in any given day. Don't be emotionally connected to it. There's no possible way that you can be rejected by saying, "Hey, how's it going? How's it going so far?" Right? You may or may not answer. I don't care either way. You may or may not join my business when I finally get to the leverage point. So here's what I want to know. You're going to say, "Pretty good, Darren. How about yourself?" "Amazingly well. Naked soul. And my son, blah, 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 blah. Picture, picture, picture." Or I went out for dinner with my girlfriend last night. We went to this amazing event. Picture, picture, picture. Right? I want to get to an LOL. That is my goal. LOL. Gateway. I'm in. Okay, so remember this, guys. It's critical. Right? I can crack a joke about your town. "Oh, I see you're from Florida. I love oranges. LOL." Right? So what you want to do is that's your goal. LOL. Okay, so anything that you can do, any spoof that you can do, anything that you can make fun of the weather or something or whatever, right? You want to get to an LOL. Now, after that, I want to find out what you do and whether or not it's your passion or not. If it's not your passion, what's your passion? And how much money do you need to be living your passion, right? Okay, awesome. Get yourselves down to a Bentley dealership. Guys, my name is Darren Little with the MLM Superheroes. If you stumbled across this training on YouTube or on social media or something later down the road, this will be up, right? I mean, Mark, click. I don't know right now, but it changed your life forever, where you never have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. Click the link below or somewhere around this video, take action, get enrolled, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.